first stream today. Took me a bit. I had to coax it into working. But OJ, YouTube is ready. YouTube is saying, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. We got a lot of videos to get through. Not really. Not particularly. We're so close. Oh, it's my Tiffany alarm. All right, I gotta press play.
Mr. Fairlow, well, just to begin with, the L at the top of the diagram represents this is the left hand, correct?
That's correct.
Now, if we'll move down, you've got even a little more. Okay. Let me start with the last word at the bottom that says clubbing. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And you previously testified on direct examination that, even in fact, I think in your report exhibit 507, made a finding of clubbing. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Doctor, would it be accurate to say clubbing is a situation, if you look at a profile of your fingernail, normally one sees the fingernail is lower towards the finger as it goes towards the wrist than it will be at the center and at the tip of the fingernail where we clip our fingernails.
Correct. Normally the nail from the nail bed angulates slightly upward, and clubbing, you take an initial downward path and scoop down.
So in other words, it's filled up at the lower part where the nail bed begins, if you will.
Correct. Then at the nail bed, that becomes, when looking at the finger longitudinally, that's the highest point, and then the nail basically starts curving downward, where if you all look at your own nails, you can see that there's a slight angulation upward of a normal nail.
Now, Doctor, I've put on the Elmo with Mr. Fairlow's assistance one of the exhibits from 1249, which I believe you testified on Friday represents the ring finger of Mr. Simpson's left hand. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, Mr. Fairlow's ahead of me. He's got an arrow just about where I'd like it. Is this a photograph that, in your opinion, demonstrates the phenomenon of clubbing?
Yes, it is.
And would you indicate, you said it normally it starts and it's a downward angle, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Does that appear to you, if Mr. Fairlow moved to the left where the nail bed begins, and then trace along a line towards the tip of the fingernail, does that appear to you that the fingernail bed is actually rising slightly?
No, it does not. That appears to be clubbing to me.
And Doctor, if you believe that that is clubbing, how severe a case would you describe that as being?
You don't rate clubbing. I certainly have never heard of any rating system for clubbing. Either it's kind of a yes or no answer.
Well, Doctor, would it be of some assistance if, in fact, what you found was, let me withdraw the question if I might. You've seen cases, have you not, Doctor, of clubbing where it's clear that there's a sponginess material, whatever it is, that has raised the area where the nail bed begins much higher than we see in Mr. Simpson's finger in this photograph, so that the angle is much more pronounced. Is that a fair statement?
There are different levels of clubbing, yes. I'm not aware of a prognostic significance of that, so that's why I didn't.
If a rheumatologist said that if that is clubbing, it's of minimal significance, would you agree with that assessment?
I think it's clubbing, and I'd basically agree with that.
Would you agree, I'm not sure you've answered my question, that it would be of minimal significance, this degree?
I think that clubbing is a yes or no phenomenon, to the best of my knowledge, and I may be off in left field, but no, I'm not aware of a significant versus a non-significant clubbing in terms of looking at it. Certainly when you see somebody with clubbing, a lot of people are just born with it, and it's of no significance whatsoever. Occasionally it represents some other type of disease, occasionally pulmonary, occasionally some other type of disease. So I think if you have clubbing, you make a note of it and you look into possible causes without saying, gee, that's a minimally significant clubbing, let's forget it, as compared to, gee, that's a significant clubbing, let's really work that up. So no, I'm not aware of that differentiation.
Doctor, if we could have Mr. Fairlow put back now what we're looking at, that exhibit 514, I believe it is, and again the left hand. On this hand-drawn sketch, you wrote information regarding 3 cuts that you identified to the left ring and middle finger of Mr. Simpson. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And Doctor, did you identify all cuts that you saw by naked eye examination on June 15th to those fingers?
No, I didn't.
You were asked on direct examination about 3 cuts. Do you recall that testimony?
Correct.
How many cuts in total did you identify on June 15th, 1994 to Mr. Simpson's left hand, wrist, arm?
He had basically the third cut there on the 4th finger had 2 components. It was one laceration, but on this initial picture, there's mainly, if you look at the spatial relationship, there's it looks, basically I put one slash there and it looks like it's not basically representing the inferior portion of what I kind of call the 3B part of that laceration. That stayed that way basically because immediately on dictating my report after 48 hours and sending it in, I, to try to be a little bit more clear, transferred these pictures over to two right hands, and there was it was a stereotypic mistake. In other words, the right hand, I put these starting left cuts, and basically I could see immediately that that was incorrect, but obviously I didn't want to change any of the records, and so I kept this picture the same, as well as the other description as well.
Your Honor, I'm asking Mr. Fairclough to put from Exhibit 507 this drawing that is marked page 440. Now, Doctor, this is the form that you subsequently transferred the information to,
That is correct.
and basically we're looking at an outline, dorsal and palmar of a right hand, but you are using this to represent a left hand. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And would it be accurate to say that what you have diagrammed on the second finger, the index finger,
Correct.
of the right dorsal, back of the hand, the right side of this diagram, is
Correct.
intended to reflect the ring finger of the left hand?
That is correct.
In other words, you would put whatever is identified there, and if Mr. Fairclough has the identifying caret, and Mr. Harris is going to help us out, thanks very much. If Mr. Fairclough will move it down to the left of that, please, that line right there.
Correct.
Doctor, that line there is inaccurately placed, is that correct?
It's accurately placed, but it should be elongated. I basically put a shorter laceration there than what was in fact there waiting for the pictures to return. You're
Well,
right.
excuse me, that is it not, the index finger of the right hand?
That's correct.
The injury it is to reflect is to the ring finger of the left hand, isn't that correct?
That is correct.
The ring finger of the right hand would be if Mr. Fairclough moved the caret directly horizontal and over one more. That is the ring finger of the right hand, is it not?
That is correct.
And if you wanted to put that cut that you identified on the index finger
Right.
on the correct finger, recognizing this is a right hand drawing for a left hand,
Right.
that would be where it should be, right?
That's correct.
So it is improperly located by you on this form.
Yes, it is.
All right, Doctor, let's start if we could, please. Thanks, Mr. Harris. I think we're going to ask Mr. Fairclough to come back to Exhibit 514. With respect to your rough drawing, you do have it located, do you not, on the ring finger of the left hand.
Yes, I do.
What did you write down with respect to any description of that particular injury? And if you can't read it from, I'm talking about writing down on
Oh,
this.
okay.
Now, I gave you a copy. That's why if you need to take a look at it, if you can't, Mr. Fairclough maybe can zoom in a bit.
Partially healed edges with heme in between edges of cut, and below paper cut.
I want to be clear. Just what you started to read, Doctor, that doesn't refer to the index finger injury, does it? That refers to the injury on the middle finger. Isn't that correct?
Correct. Paper cut slice.
Okay, let's start. Now you're going to tell us what you wrote for the ring finger left hand, correct?
No. The third finger, left hand, is slice angulated injury, about 1 centimeter.
All right, is that to reference what would be the lower injury diagram to the far left of this particular diagram?
Yes, it would.
Okay, in fact, don't you have an arrow? Do you not have an arrow? And Mr. Fairclough, if you'll down, Mr. Fairclough, to the right, right there. That is the area, is it not, Doctor, where you diagrammed in what you defined as an injury to the left ring finger?
That's correct.
And you have an arrow pointing to that, correct?
That is correct.
What, if any, written entry did you make describing that injury
The written injury
on this document?
on that document, none.
So
The
where it
paper
says,
cut slice angulated injury is discussing that lesion, the distal part of the third finger.
so where it says paper cut, that paper cut, and you see how the T of cut is just above the arrow that is pointing to the area of the injury on the left ring finger. Do you see that?
Correct, yes.
Is it your testimony, Doctor, that paper cut there does not refer to that injury on the left ring finger?
That is correct.
All right. Now, paper cut then refers to the injury to the middle finger. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And now if Mr. Fairclough could move the diagram so maybe we can center on, thanks, Mr. Harris. I want to start with the paper cut if we could. Mr. Fairclough, drop down
Yes.
if you would, please.
Please.
Now, what did,
Let's focus on a paper cut for this murder trial. Please, let's really hone in on this. I expect at least 2 or 3 videos alone on this paper cut. I didn't swear. I didn't.
What did you then write with respect to this? Down a little, Mr. Fairlaw, with the arrow, please. For that injury, you notice you have, again, a caret sign pointing to it?
Yes.
Now, what did you write then for that particular finding, doctor?
Paper cut slice, angulated injury.
Did you write in any way that that was caused by glass?
No, I did not.
Did you write in any way that that was caused by a knife?
No, I did not.
But in fact, when Mr. Shapiro asked you on direct examination the cause of that particular injury, you said it was due to a sharp object, correct?
That is correct.
And in fact, you indicated things like a metal object, right?
Yes.
Like a knife
Yes.
or glass,
Yes.
not a paper cut, right?
When I initially saw the wound, it was sliced so clean. That was what came into my head initially, and I did jot that down, absolutely.
And so clean means it had no rough edges. Isn't that correct, doctor?
That is the one cut that has no rough edges.
And your testimony on Friday on direct exam was the absence of a rough edge would be more consistent with a knife. It was the presence of a rough edge on one of the injuries that led you to favor glass over a knife for that other injury. Isn't that correct?
Both glass and knives can have smooth cuts. However, if you have a sharp cut, there's no way of knowing. On that case, part of the reason why I thought that that was more consistent with glass was the fact that the wound appeared to me to continue directly over to the adjacent fourth index finger, and that it was difficult after I really sat down and thought about it for me to believe or to think that this cut, which seemed to continue over, it seemed more consistent with some type of irregularly shaped object, sharp object, than a knife to be able to cause both of those seemingly related lacerations, if in fact they were related.
Doctor, my question though to you was, on direct examination in response to Mr. Shapiro's question, you differentiated glass over a knife because of the rough edge of one of the cuts. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
And your testimony here is that this other cut, this one you initially described as a paper cut, does not have a rough surface, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Doctor, did you
Time to
try and
take my
age
daughter.
each of these
I'll be right
injuries
back,
to
guys.
form an opinion
Be
as to
good.
how old the injury was?
I really did not. I have a mental picture of it, and obviously, much more important, I wanted to rely on the pictures that were taken.
Well, doctor, your visual examination was the best examination. Pictures may be distortions in some respect. They may not, but they may be, right?
I think pictures are going to tell this pretty accurately, I would certainly hope.
All right, well, doctor, then, did you attempt to age these injuries?
I don't really consider myself a pathologist to age injuries, but I mean, if you want my opinion, absolutely. I mean, I attempted to see if the ages were relatively similar, if the erythema around the borders was similar, if the amount of clot inside, the degree of scabbing was similar, and it was difficult because the cuts were so dissimilar. One of them, the fissure cut on the third proximal interphalangeal joint, was a slice injury, and there was a significant amount of blood and heme there. The laceration on the distal third finger, which was the very smooth one, was wide open without anything inside. It was more superficial, and it was totally clean. The edges were not touching. As you well know, a wound heals much more quickly when the laceration goes in perpendicular to the skin surface, and these were beveled or angulated lacerations. But it did appear to me that there was some continuity, because right this smooth lesion, it came right over into this third, what I call the cut 3B, came right seemingly over in one fell injury, and it seemed like some sort of sharp object caused both of those, and it made it a little bit more difficult in my mind to think that it was a knife, although certainly I never said that it couldn't be a knife. I said that it seemed more consistent with glass.
But you said it was more consistent with glass because of the rough edge of that injury, correct?
The rough edge of the injury, putting them both together, they seem to be a similar injury.
Did you assume all of the injuries you saw on his left hand were incurred at the same time?
I didn't make that assumption, and certainly as I've described, the wounds had different entry marks, and it was very difficult, certainly not something that I have any expertise in terms of exactly dating them, and that's why, in my mind, I was just to see Mr. Simpson. I requested that the pictures be taken and that all these legal issues be handled by a qualified forensic pathologist, because I knew full well that that wasn't something that I was going to be able to testify up here in front of court on, because that's not what I do for a living. And when I made these drawings, I had no intention of answering any of these questions because I assumed I would not be an expert and that I just wanted to make sure the pictures represented what I had remembered, and I feel in that case they are.
Did you tell Mr. Shapiro that you did not consider yourself an expert in identifying these kinds of injuries?
In dating them, I think is what I said, in terms of exactly timing. This is not something that I do as part of my practice in terms of looking at a wound and without, as you say, making the assumption that the patient is lying to me, exactly go back and date it somehow, whether it's carbon dating back centuries or back days. That isn't something that I do for a living, and I don't even pretend to offer any more than a sidewalk consultation on that.
Well, doctor, though, as part of your training in the emergency room that you relied upon in being able to differentiate knife cuts from glass cuts, you would be involved in the same process with respect to when you got the injury. You ask the patients if they're conscious, able to talk, when did you get it, right?
That's absolutely correct.
And you also are in a situation where people will come after you've put in some sutures to see how the wound is healing. Isn't that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
And that would be in situations where you would know, based on patient history, when the wound was inflicted, right? Assuming
That
it
is
was
correct.
accurately given.
That is correct.
And then you would know what's the condition of the wound at the time you're looking at it the next visit, right?
That's a sutured wound, which is totally different than a gaping wound that's had bacterial infestation and that is cut at a variety of angles and that has totally different appearances in all of these cuts and has totally different healing qualities, different rates of epithelialization, different rates of wound contracture, and all these are very difficult issues unless you've, studied pictures and really made a science of this, which I certainly have not.
Well, doctor, is it your testimony that you have never, in your emergency room moonlighting over the years you've identified, never been dealing with patients who have the kind of cuts that you saw on Mr. Simpson's left hand at various stages of healing? Is that your testimony, sir?
No, I have seen cuts at every different stage of healing, but I have not made a mental note, is this a cut 1 day old, 2 days old, 3 days old, 4 days old, or 5 days old? That's a very tight call, and short of evaluating a wound for its need or appropriateness of suturing, apart from evaluating a wound for its infected or non-infectious nature, apart from evaluating a wound for foreign bodies inside, in terms of dating it exactly, I don't think that that's something that I feel comfortable doing. I think that I have seen a lot of people who I think were answering truthfully say I got cut by a knife slicing the bagel this morning, or I got cut by glass washing the dishes in the sink, and I feel I have a general idea, a pretty good idea after all those years of recognizing the difference between glass and knife. And I think it comes down to, and again, this may be oversimplified, if there is a lot of erratic, shaggy edges, then it's probably not something perfectly sharp like a surgical blade or a razor blade or a knife. If there's some jagged edge, then it's more likely some other type of irregular but very sharp material.
All right, let's move on.
If I could, one last question in this area.
I think we've covered this quite a bit now.
All right. One last question, if the court feels it's in the same vein. then I'll-
Wind it up, but let's move on.
Doctor, if Mr. Simpson's hand was moving at an angle to the instrument inflicting the injury, that could account for the roughness or shagginess of the edge. Isn't that correct, sir?
It could account for,
Or you can answer the question.
if you are slicing with a knife and you move suddenly, you'd have to, in order to get a beveled edge, of course you'd have to move smoothly, but you could get 1 or 2 large movements theoretically.
Which would give a shaggy appearance, correct?
Not a shaggy appearance, maybe a change in direction of the laceration.
Now, doctor, I want you to assume hypothetically the following, and you tell me whether any of your findings would be inconsistent with this. Okay, let me withdraw that. Did you ask Mr. Simpson when he got any of these injuries? When, as in time, he got any of these injuries?
Again, I think that this is maybe going to come as a shock to you, but I was asked to see him because of acute anxiety, situational problems, and to evaluate to make sure that medically he was okay. I took careful pictures of the hands. I asked him how he got the lacerations, which he said he got cut by glass. I did not exactly ask him the time. I didn't ask him whether or not he committed this crime. I didn't go into those items. That was for different people. He had a whole different set of people evaluating those things. This was not something where I saw myself as somebody that was going to be sitting here defending him in court. I was really seeing him as a doctor, taking pictures of anything abnormal that I saw, and not really evaluating him so that at some later date I would sit here to protect him or do anything else in a legal vein along the lines you're asking me currently.
No, no, I have another photograph. May this be marked as Exhibit 515?
I-15. Have you shown that to counsel?
No, but it was given to me by defense counsel. I'm sorry. Yes, may I approach first?
You may.
Doctor, let me show you, and I wrote 515 on the back of the photograph, Your Honor. Doctor, are you familiar with what's shown in that photograph?
Yes, I am.
And is that in fact a photograph taken on June 17th, 1994?
Yes, it is.
And this is taken during the course of the subsequent examination in which you were involved, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you're seen in this photograph, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And is that Dr. Bodden that's also seen in the photograph?
Yes, it is.
What are you looking at, you and Dr. Bodden looking at in this photograph?
Sustain or rephrase the question.
Well, let's just put it up on the Elmo, preferably that way, yes. If we could back up just a little, Mr. Fairtlow, so we can see. Just for clarification, looking to the left, that's Dr. Bodden, correct?
Yes, it is.
Looking to the right in the foreground with the glasses, that's you. Is that correct, Dr.
Yes, it
Heisinger?
is.
And in the yellow shirt is Mr. Simpson?
Yes, it is.
And is that Mr. Simpson's right hand that appears to be resting on Dr. Bodden's left palm?
Yes, it is.
Now, Doctor, was this part of the more complete examination of the hands for injuries?
This was a
Sustain.
Doctor, what are the two of you doing in this photograph then?
Let me see counsel sidebar with the court reporter, please. Proceed.
Let me re-ask the question. I think I started with a question. Doctor, what are you and Dr. Bodden doing in this photograph?
Sustain.
What are you doing in this photograph, Doctor?
Overruled.
I think he just identified himself, Mr. Shapiro, in the...
Overruled. Counsel.
You may answer the question, Doctor. What are you doing in this photograph?
Looks like I'm just standing there. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Are you looking at anything in particular?
I have no recollection of exactly what he might have been doing with that particular procedure. I think that what we did there was, as I said, he and Dr. Lee were present on the 17th, and basically just to make sure that the correct photographs were taken, and again, they're the ones that were going to handle what the cuts were, what they meant, how to age them. The entire hand was re-photographed, and I believe, if I had to take a guess what was going on, this was just a picture, I believe, taken by Dr. Lee. That was the start of this whole process of re-examining his entire body with those two specialists there. Again, no one wanted to rely on, that wasn't really my role, and so at this point, they were re-photographing his entire hands as well as his entire body.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think we're done with the photograph. Let me ask Mr. Fairwell then, if you would, please, to put your rough sketch 514 back up. Now, Doctor, let me ask you if there is anything inconsistent from your examination that the injuries that you've identified in this drawing could have been caused by different sources at different times.
I think that's possible.
Over.
You may answer the question, Doctor.
I think it's possible, but again, it was difficult because the injuries were of quite different nature, as I explained before. And so while they could all have been incurred at the exact same moment, they also could have been at a slightly different time. Again, the time frame of 1 or 2 days, certainly with my expertise, would be very difficult for me to tell the difference when you have cuts that have different entry angulation and therefore different healing rates. You also, of course, the healing is dependent on how much laxity there is in the skin. So depending on where the laceration is in the finger in terms of is there motion on that joint? Is it an area where there's really no motion? Is it an area over the third finger where there's swollen joints and so obviously the skin will be pulled back? All those factors, even if everything were cut exactly the same moment, it could appear, I would think, absolutely difficult, and the healing rate could be quite different. I think all of us have had the experience where you get multiple cuts and some heal much quicker than others. Typically the ones over your joint will be the one that just keeps breaking open and bleeding, for extended periods.
Doctor, would it be then fair to say, though, that given the different nature of appearance between the 3 cuts that are identified in this hand-drawn sketch, that is suggestive that the injuries may have been caused by different sources?
It's very difficult to say. It's very difficult to say, but there's various theories, because if you take a hand where the majority of the injuries are right here, and right here on the left hand, and then, as we discussed before, there's a fine abrasion right here, and you kind of had some system like that, and the injuries are kind of along this ray, it could be possible that they were all caused at the same time by the same substance as well.
For the record, the doctor took his left hand and with the palms up, he made a up and down motion, I think several times, Your Honor, with that forearm and hand, as if, doctor, to represent striking some surface. Is that correct?
Some surface or some sharp thing, correct.
Now, doctor, if that had been the situation, wouldn't you expect to see contusions to the areas along the knuckles that come in contact with the hard surface in the action that you just demonstrated?
Again, it's very difficult depending on the force of the blow, and number 2, depending on whether someone strikes something that is sharp right up front, or somebody basically rubs their hand over this sharp surface. That's a tough call.
Your Honor, I have another photograph. May this be marked, it's a color photograph, what appears to be the left hand. May this be marked as 516?
Yes.
And Mr. Fairlow, and perhaps reduce the glare in some fashion. And I'm going to be asking you, Mr. Fairlow, if you can focus more on the wrist area for the moment. Exactly, that's perfect. And if you can also do some kind of carrot. Exactly, if you move it down, straight down, please. And now to the left. And a little more, and down just a tad, right there. Doctor, do you see where the arrow has stopped here?
Yes, I do.
You testified at the end of your direct examination by Mr. Shapiro that you did identify a couple of abrasions. You described them as punctate abrasions, is that correct?
There were a number of abrasions. I believe the punctate ones were more, you can see them right on, as I look at this picture, on the left-hand side, you can see a dot and then another dot. Those were the punctate lesions. And then there were several these other small abrasions, which were, more in the, I think, something like 1/4 by 1/8 inch and an 1/8 by 1/8.
First of all, let me ask you, if this was your testimony, page 366 of the real-time transcript, other than those on the 15th referring to the cuts that you've already testified to, there was no other evidence of any trauma except for several very small little punctate abrasions that were also on the back of his left palm, but they appeared to be basically zigzag areas of maybe several centimeters, which were very superficial irritation scrapings of some sort. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Did that testimony refer to what we are seeing under the carrot here?
That did include those areas. There's a straight area you can't see on this picture, and then there are these several dots, and then there are these other 2 areas, yes.
Doctor, would you describe this as the back of the left palm?
Yes, I would.
All right. And that is an abrasion, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Is that an injury? That's a blunt force trauma type of injury, correct?
It could be a blunt force, but more likely some sort of a scrape or...
Well, let's assume Dr. Lakshmanan has testified that blunt force trauma is a category of certain kinds of injuries which includes abrasions, contusions, lacerations. Any reason to disagree with that analysis?
Oral.
You may answer the question, Doctor.
Say that one more time. Let me hear that.
If Dr.
definition.
Lakshmanan testified that blunt force trauma is a generalized category of types of injuries that includes abrasions, contusions, and lacerations, would you have any reason to disagree with that?
No, I wouldn't.
And as he also testified, I'll ask you to assume that an abrasion is a scraping type action. Is that consistent with what you identified on what appears to be the lateral side of the little finger of the area near the little finger's base of the left wrist?
Right, it's actually over the carpal bones on the left side, the ulnar side of the carpal bones, yes.
That's one abrasion.
Correct.
And did that appear to be of the same vintage age-wise as the cuts that you were looking at on the third and fourth fingers of Mr. Simpson's left hand?
The finger cuts were still open, and this appeared to be somewhat more healed on the 15th.
But an abrasion doesn't have the appearance of a cut, does it, doctor?
No, it does not.
And so the fact that a cut is open is not relevant to the degree of healing of an abrasion, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
All right, if Mr. Fairlow can you circle that, please, Mr. Fairlow? So we'll call that abrasion number 1, just for keeping account if we could. Mr. Fairlow, would you move the arrow to the right? Along the, okay, you do it that way, a little further, there, right there. Now, doctor, is that another abrasion that you identified on June 15th?
Yes, it is.
And in fact, in your diagram, is this going to really, Mr. Fairlow? No, I'll tell you what, before we get to the diagram. Did it appear to be of about the same vintage as the first abrasion?
Yes, it did.
And if Mr. Fairlow could circle that. May I approach again, Your Honor?
You may.
Doctor, showing you this diagram that we already had up from Exhibit 507, did you write in on that form the location and description of those two things we're looking at on this photograph, Exhibit 515?
Yes, I did.
What was your measurement of what we've described here as abrasion number 1, the one that is closer to the fingers?
I put that was the closer to the fingers.
Yes.
Approximately 1 centimeter.
And 1 centimeter, you said on Friday you thought was 2.2 centimeters to the inch. And
We'll correct that to 2.54. So it's basically
third of an inch, maybe?
a third of an inch.
And how about abrasion number 2? Did you measure that one?
Yes, I did.
How long was that one?
I marked it was approximately a half of a centimeter.
So that's about a sixth of an inch?
Correct.
Doctor, in your opinion, was each of those consistent with some kind of scraping, such as, for example, a fingernail?
Didn't appear to be a fingernail, but obviously if you catch a fingernail flush, that would be a possibility, but typically you're looking for some kind of a curve. You know, we see obviously a lot of fingernails in the eyeball. I guess that's where I've had the most experience, where you can see that characteristic curvature. And, you know, usually scrapes on the skin are a little wider than, you know, the scrape he had, but that certainly was something that I entertained.
Well, doctor, let me ask you hypothetically to assume that Dr. Lakshmanan testified that he identified on Mr. Goldman's neck 2 superficial incised wounds, semi-parallel in nature, running along the front of his neck. All right?
Okay.
Assume that. And further, that he offered an opinion that those 2 superficial incised wounds were consistent with being inflicted by a person holding a knife in the right hand who had Mr. Goldman from behind controlled with a left arm around the chest area. Do you have a pretty good picture of that?
Yes?
And in such a situation, doctor, would it be accurate to say that the area that you see the 2 abrasions in this photograph would be exposed to the outside, if it's in the position that I've got right here, a bar arm type of hold across the chest?
I think that is a possibility. You'd really have to rotate it out because you see this ulnar styloid is sticking out right here. And so, you know, you really have to, let's see, you're saying, let's
No,
get the hand
it's
right,
the-
left hand.
The left hand, the left arm. I want you to assume, and with
Well,
the
it's going to
court's
take me a little time to work this out. I'm not going to just do this instantly.
I think we can help you with it. Your Honor, with the court's permission, could Dr. Isaac step down, please?
Yes.
And doctor, if you will take on a role that I played a little earlier in this trial, and perhaps you could face the jury. And I'm going to represent Dr. Lakshmanan by putting my arm, I don't have as long an arm as he had, around your chest. And that he then, with his right arm, appearing to hold a knife, made some slashing gestures with his right hand to represent how haunting type of parallel cuts could be inflicted. You with me so far?
Yes.
All right, now, in this position that I'm in, would it be correct to say, I've got a watch on, let me take the watch off. Would it be correct to say, doctor, that the area of Mr. Simpson's hand and wrist and arm where we see those 2 abrasions would be, in this position, to the outside of Mr. Goldman?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
You may ask the question, doctor. Just as I've got my hand in this position.
It's possible, but if you just in this position, I still feel your ulnar styloid sticking out a little bit right here. So I still think you could abrade this area But then why didn't you abrade this area if you got this area? Because you almost have to be like this somehow to get both of those. And if you're coming in, curving toward me, you're sticking out this ulnar styloid.
What if I'm not curving, doctor, but I've got you like I've got you now, where I am applying the pressure, and I
Well,
think
then-
you'll verify the pressure is being applied right here, is it not? And this area is out. I just wanted to ask you,
I hope he's not hurting the doctor, though.
not in the slightest, am I, doctor?
No.
Doctor,
Yeah,
the question though
He's a
was,
wrestler, counsel.
I'm sure he could throw me in a second, Your Honor.
Yes.
The question, doctor, and this is the only question, is this area that is on the outside of your body the area that is depicted in the photograph that's up on the Elmo?
Yes, it is.
All right, now you can retake the stand. And doctor, if Mr. Goldman was trying to get the knife or the arm that's holding the knife at his throat away from him, and he's grappling to try and get free, would you agree, doctor, that if he rubs along the left edge of the left hand of the perpetrator, if that position of the perpetrator's arm was as I demonstrated, that that could be a source for such abrasions?
Objection, cause for speculation.
Overruled.
Certainly abrasions could be caused by that type of emotion, whether or not they would be in that exact location. Again, I would have to look at the exact dimensions of Mr. Simpson's arm, and you know, this is like a lot of medicine. You have to do a test. You know, that's what science is all about.
You have to do a test. What test did you do to see Mr. Simpson ever attempt to run, to see how well he could run? Did you ever ask him to run at any time?
I never asked him to run.
And that would be the best test, would it not, to see how well he could run given his arthritic condition as you found it?
He told me he could not run, and you're right, I took him at his word.
Your Honor, I think we're up to, is it 517?
517.
I have another photograph that appears to show the left arm. May that be marked as that designation? And I've written it on the back of that photograph. Mr. Fairlow, if you'll take down the previous one and take this one up. Could we, and focus more again on the back of the hand at the moment rather than on the fingers. Great. And Mr. Fairlow, can you take an arrow again and about in the center of the photograph, bring it down? Right, a little further down, please. Doctor, do you see where the arrow is right now on this exhibit 517?
Yes, I do.
Did you observe that particular finding at the time of your June 15th examination?
Yes, I did.
Did you form an opinion as to what that represented?
No, I did not.
Would you agree that you did not describe it anywhere on your rough diagram, which we marked as exhibit 514? That's this.
No, I would disagree with that.
All right, would you, let me show you. You tell me then where you mark these in.
Right here. These lines right there.
Okay. What do these other lines mean? And we'll get this up so everybody can see.
Those were the little, the ditzels that we were talking about.
The ditzels? Which are the ditzels?
Immediately to the right of that linear area, and then there's one back behind that. Again, those were just to make me remember to look at those on the pictures, but they were definitely there.
Did you ever write a report describing what those things were? I'm sorry, yes, if we could put the exhibit 514 up, we'll come back to the photograph just so everybody can see what you've described. And doctor, why don't you point out if you would, and then maybe Mr. Farrell will circle it. Direct him if you can.
These areas right here, and there's a dot. Again, there's a little area right there. These were areas that, again, I was counting totally on the pictures to document those. I was putting those down as a self-reminder. Taking the exact pictures, I can't draw. It's all very misleading. This wasn't what I intended to do diagrammatically, and I wanted to have pictures be the record for that, and that's why I had pictures taken.
Doctor, do you still have the original report that we marked? Yes. I'm sorry, that's yours. I think this is the one I need. Mr. Fairlow, would you put up, again, page 440? And for the record, Mr. Fairlow drew some circles around the area that the doctor had pointed out on his rough diagram.
Yes.
Now, doctor, this is the more complete diagram, and if Mr. Fairlow will raise it just a bit, could you raise it just so we see the bottom? At the bottom, you drew in, or wrote in, and maybe you could raise it even further, Mr. Fairlow, and we'll focus on just right at the end. There we go. We're looking at now those two areas of abrasion
Correct.
that were seen in the photograph. We were looking at 516, I think it is.
Correct.
All right, now if we'll bring the rest of the schematic into view, did you draw in any of those little lines that you drew in your rough diagram?
Yes, I did.
And would you indicate where they are?
There's a zigzag line and then those various dots down below.
All right, if you'll direct Mr. Fairlow.
This was intended to be the abrasion, and then these various dots that represented these various other punctate lesions, again, that I was doing as a mnemonic, assuming that these were all going to be replaced by the photos, and that this was just something that would,
I'm sorry.
that this was something that would then just keep the whole issue fresh in my mind.
Where Mr. Fairlow has the uppermost arrow, you said that was, in your opinion, an abrasion?
That was the linear laceration.
Laceration or abrasion, doctor?
Linear abrasion.
And let's ask Mr. Fairlow, you can print that out? Sure, why don't you print that out? Thanks, Mr. Fairlow. And now ask you to put up 517 again, and again focusing on that. Bring the arrow over, if you would, please, Mr. Fairlow, to the right, right there. Is that, doctor, what you are now describing as this abrasion?
The linear abrasion, correct.
All right. Now, doctor, if Mr. Simpson had had a glove on his left hand, that area would, in your opinion, be covered if the glove were still being worn, would it not be the situation?
It would be difficult to get this sort of abrasion unless there was something inside the glove, if in fact your premise of wearing a glove were correct, yes.
But if the glove had been forcibly removed, this area of the hand would be exposed. Is that correct?
Sustained. Sustained.
Doctor, I want you to assume hypothetically that Mr. Simpson did murder Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman.
Sustained. Phrase the question.
I want you to assume, doctor, hypothetically, that the
No.
that
Proceed.
that the perpetrator of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman wore gloves, left and right hand. That in the effort to perpetrate the murder, he lost the left glove, exposing the hand as we see it in this photograph. You with me so far on this hypothetical?
Yes, I am.
And that in the course of Mr. Goldman trying to get the knife in the right hand of the perpetrator away from his neck, that he scratched the perpetrator's left hand that was being used to control him, much like I demonstrated with you earlier this afternoon. Do you have that assumption?
Overruled.
Do you have that assumption in mind, doctor?
Yes, I do.
Again, would this be consistent, in your opinion, with an injury received by Mr. Simpson under such a hypothetical set of circumstances?
Can I see some pictures of that cut so that I can just make sure they're right to left? Because you'd think if his right hand,
For the record, I'm giving the witness Exhibit 517.
Yes.
that would be a possibility.
That would be a possibility? I'm sorry.
That would be a possibility.
May I recollect? Doctor, I'm going to just ask you collectively regarding these other injuries, but to do so, let me mark some additional photographs, and I'll show them to you collectively. What appears to be 7 additional photographs of the left wrist or hand area. May they be marked collectively 518A through whatever the next letter would be?
Yes.
And then what appear to be 2 photographs of the right hand. I'm sorry, I need to add one more of the left hand to the collection. A photograph of the right hand that I'd ask to be marked as Exhibit 519.
19.
May I approach there are 2 of them. I'm sorry, I was right the first time. 519A and B.
Fine.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
Doctor, would you look at the Exhibit 518A through wherever it's going to end? And basically, as you're looking at them, my question to you is, do each of these photographs fairly and accurately show the left hand, wrist, or arm near the area of the wrist of Mr. Simpson as of the time you saw him on June 15th and June 17th, 1994?
Excuse me?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and look at the photographs. Gelber?
Well, I certainly accept the stipulation as required under defense discovery, but the question was, do these fairly and accurately represent the areas depicted as of the time seen by Dr. Huizinga on June 15th and June 17th, 1994?
Proceed.
And that's the purpose I asked you to look at them, Doctor.
Gelber?
Doctor, you've had a chance to review each of them?
Yes, I have.
Does each of those photographs fairly and accurately show the area depicted in each of the photographs as seen by you on June 15th and June 17th, 1994?
The areas of the injuries are similar, correct?
And basically, do the photographs fairly show them? In other words, it's not a distortion, what we're looking at.
No, I don't believe these are distorted.
Now, Doctor, let me add two other photographs. Oh, I'm sorry, this one's been marked. I'm not sure that this one has, just to be on the safe side, another one to add to the 518 collection, Your Honor,
All right.
of the left hand. Same question to you, Doctor. Does that fairly and accurately show the area of the left hand, back of the left hand, as you saw it on June 15th and June 17th?
Yes, it does.
And let me show you then the two photographs marked 519A and B, and ask you basically the same question regarding the back of the right hand.
Yes, it does.
Doctor, with respect to the left hand, how many injuries, and I will include cuts, abrasions together, how many injuries did you see on June 15th on Mr. Simpson? Whether you diagrammed them in, or you have to go on the basis of the photographs, and let me give you the photographs, and you can look through them to count if necessary.
He sustained an injury to his proximal interphalangeal joint that we've discussed. He sustained an injury to the distal third interphalangeal joint. He sustained a injury that appeared to be continuous, but did have kind of a mid break area on the fourth, basically from the the distal to the proximal interphalangeal joint.
Let me stop you if you're done with that description, because we have a photograph I'm going to ask you. This is one of the defense exhibits, 1249.
That's correct.
All right, Doctor, if Mr. Fairlow could get us the arrow again, why don't you trace for us on this photograph the course that you're talking about? And I think you may need to bring it, there you go, Mr. Fairlow.
Basically, it's difficult to see here, at least at my angle, but the incision, the laceration starts here, and there appeared to be kind of a continuous synoidal pattern right here. It seemed to be one injury to me at the time. That was my initial impression.
In looking at this photograph or any of the other photographs, has your opinion changed as to whether or not, in fact, this may be the product of separate injuries?
I still think that it's a continuing type of injury.
Now, we could go on, and Mr. Fairlow can print that out perhaps. And Your Honor, could the printout just be added to the defense exhibit at 1249? You want to make a people's exhibit? Then it's 520. We're done with the vote.
All right, 5 minutes, Mr. Gilbert.
Okay. Any other on the left? Any others on the left?
And then we had the abrasion that we noted here. We had
May I approach, Your Honor?
as I recall, 3 punctate lesions,
A lesion being an injury.
an injury, kind of a small circular area.
And let me have, Your Honor, just to be on the safe side, could this be 519A? So we'll be able to identify, 518A, excuse me. Mr. Fairlow, will you put that up so we can all see what the doctor's looking at? And we're going to focus down towards the arm from where we saw that linear abrasion. Is that correct, Doctor?
That is correct.
And if Mr. Fairlow gets the arrow, up, to the right, to the right, to the right, up, right there. Is that one of the injuries, the punctate lesions as you described it?
Yes, it is.
And is that consistent with an abrasion, punctate abrasion, much like you described the other as being a linear abrasion?
Of some sort.
Did they appear to be in approximately the same state of healing?
Yes, they did.
Are there any other abrasions as seen in this photograph, 518A?
Yes, there's one below that and a little bit off to the right.
All right, if we can lower the arrow, to the right, down further, Mr. Fairlow, perhaps, to the right,
To the right?
right there about, Doctor?
Correct.
And is that a similar punctate abrasion?
Yes, it is.
Anything else in this photograph?
I don't see anything in that photograph.
If Mr. Fairlow could print this, perhaps? And, Your Honor, 518 AA as the printout?
Yes.
Any others, Doctor?
There was, on one of the pictures here, there were 3. That's why I said it, but they were the other one was somewhat smaller than that.
Why don't you show me which photograph we can put it up?
These, I believe, were the 2 that you have just mentioned, and I don't really see it on this picture.
Let me ask you to look actually at one of the
I don't see it on this picture.
large photographs of the left hand, and I'll make this one 518B. Do you see what appears to be some kind of injury on the thumb?
Yes, I do.
Was that one of the injuries you saw?
No, it was not.
Was it, do you know when this photograph was taken?
I have no idea.
As between the 15th or the 17th. We stipulated this has been provided by defense counsel. Can you tell us when?
That looks like the 15th.
And Mr. Fairlow, could you put this 518B up and see if we can see this injury? On the thumb area, you're gonna, there we go. Do you want to switch perhaps the other direction, Mr. Fairlow? No, I mean with the thumb vertical, I'm sorry. And down. And about in the halfway down from the thumbnail, Mr. Fairlow, with an arrow. You have no recollection, Doctor, of seeing that injury on the 15th?
That was one of the things I didn't indicate, and on the initial evaluation, it obviously was there if that's the 15th, but I didn't make a note of that.
I didn't hear the last part, I'm sorry.
I didn't make a note of that, and I haven't seen this picture ever before.
And Doctor, in looking at the picture, do you have an opinion as to whether this is a cut or an abrasion?
It appears also to be an abrasion of some sort.
Any other injuries, Doctor, to the left hand?
The 2 that we discussed near the ulnar styloid.
Any others?
No, that's everything.
Let me show you the right hand photos. We have 2 photos of the right hand, 519A and B. In the photos, do you see any cuts or abrasions?
No, I don't see any cuts or abrasions here.
Do you see, you described, I think, seeing a paper cut on the 17th that you didn't initially see on the 15th. Is that accurate?
No, that's not accurate.
You saw a paper cut at the tip of one of the fingers on the right hand. Is
On
that
the 15th and the 17th.
same one, though?
Same one.
Okay. And you have no idea when that was received age-wise, do you?
No, I basically asked how he got the cuts, and he said he cut it on glass, and I basically did not pursue that.
And that included the right hand paper cut on the end of the particular finger? Is that a yes?
That is a yes.
Your Honor, does the court wish to take a break at this
Yes.
point?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our mid-afternoon break. Please remember all my admonitions to you, and we'll stand in recess for 15. Doctor, you can step down and return in 15. All right?
All right, guys, what can we do in 15?
Parties are again
Shenanigans.
present. Deputy Magneros has...
That was quick.
I want to hash out the video because I've got maybe 3 more minutes of questioning before we get to the video.
All right.
Your Honor, there are
He
several
says he
videos.
was cut with glass.
First video
Is that what he
involves
says?
this exercise workout. We have a video that is of the taping sessions. You can divide it into 2 categories. The first part, which I think is roughly 40 minutes, is Mr. Simpson doing take after take of the introduction, running through the, for lack of a better term, spiel that is going to be the introduction for the actual exercise portion of the tape. The remaining little less than an hour are the takes of the exercise itself. I have no problem if Mr. Shapiro wants the whole video shown, although I think, quite frankly, the first 40 minutes of the spiel, take after take, is not really terribly relevant to this witness except for hand movements. But I would intend to start with the exercise portion and let the jury see the exercise portion, which is directly relevant to this witness, who has testified with respect to what he believes to be limitations on the part of Mr. Simpson, characterizing him, as the court well has heard, over the last day and a half or so. So that would be the way I would intend to go. There is then the commercial product that is produced, which is cut, of course, from the taping segments, and which includes some things that are not in the taping segment. As an offer of proof, Mr. Shapiro was interested in an offer of proof.
That's not what we're interested in. We're interested in a proper foundation.
Well, Your Honor, it'll be laid on rebuttal. Obviously, I can't lay a foundation at this time for this witness, but I can certainly make an offer of proof to the court that we will lay a foundation which permits this to be used to question this witness. I don't think we are required to bring, oh, by the way, I've been told by Ms. Clark, the trainer who's involved in this was subpoenaed by the defense for Wednesday. But setting even that aside, the law does not require us to lay the foundation first. We can make an offer of proof that we will lay the foundation. Mr. Walker is, in fact, the photographer. He was present for all 3 days, May 25th, May 26th, May 27th of 1994, roughly 16 days, 17 days, 18 days before the murders. He was the director of photography for the videotaping of an aerobic exercise production featuring Mr. Simpson. The taping lasted approximately 12 to 16 hours.
This is much better.
The second and third day consisted of videotaping Mr. Simpson swinging a golf club and playing basketball. Some of that is in the commercial tape that is sold to the public. That's the foundation, and that this fairly inaccurately, this videotape fairly inaccurately depicts the tapes of the aerobic exercises. Seems to me that that's the foundation we need to lay, and we will be able to lay it when it is our opportunity to call a witness in our rebuttal case.
All right, so you have Mr. Walker who's going to testify to all these things?
Yes, and that I've been reading from a summary of an interview with Mr. Walker at 10 o'clock this morning. And this was at my request to Mr. Yokelson because, again, I got involved later on in the process, and it was my request that Mr. Walker be in.
All right, what other videos are you going to show besides those two?
There is one other video that involves a motivational speech made by Mr. Simpson on March 31 of 1994 at the Juice Plus convention in Dallas. And the portion, which I believe is the only portion relevant, and under 356 the remainder is not, deals with Mr. Simpson's comments regarding his health. And I do have a transcript of that if the court wishes to take a look at it.
And what is your offer as to the foundation for this tape?
The foundation for this is an interview with Mr. Albert J. Martin, president of National Safety Association, the distributor for Juice Plus, who's the one who identified Mr. Simpson as the speaker at this convention. And this is the speech that he gave.
And that this videotape is a videotape of that speech given by the defendant on May 31st?
I believe in the summary of the interview that was done, and this is before I got involved, so it was a taped interview, but I did not have an opportunity for input on the questions of Mr. Martin. The statement from Mr. Martin says, in March he spoke at our conference in Dallas, Texas. This is a self-authenticating tape, Your Honor, because Mr. Simpson is speaking. I would represent to the court, and the court can look at the video if there's any question or read the transcript, that it's clear that this is, in fact, what Mr. Martin is talking about. Mr. Simpson as a motivational speaker at a Juice Plus convention in Dallas.
You said this was in March or in May?
This is March. The motivational speech is March 31, 94. And for the record, and I'll give you the full transcript, Mr. Simpson talks about his arthritis. I was at a time where I was having a pretty tough time because I got hit by what they might call, some of you might have it, it's rheumatoid arthritis. I had the beginnings of rheumatoid arthritis. I was having really a tough time. I actually had mornings where I could not open my door. I could not turn my wrist because my wrist, my fingers, my elbows would all get swollen up. They had me on, you name it, Nampicin, Indocin, Motrin. I had so much Motrin you couldn't believe it, you know. Every day, this was my life. My neighbor's a guy named Frank Jobe, who may be the greatest orthopedic surgeon in the world. He's the guy that rebuilt Tommy John's arm and stuff. He's telling me about this simple little operation that they can do with both my wrists to relieve some of the pain. And I know this is something we don't really get into with this product. We can't really talk about. So when he's telling me about all this stuff, and I'm thinking about it, because one thing I can't do anymore, I had gone to a nutritionist, is drink orange juice. And he talks about why he can't drink orange juice. And I was one of these guys that drink a quart of orange juice every day. So as he's telling me about it, I said, you know, I'm going to have to try this stuff. And the stuff is the Juice Plus. I said, I'll call home and get them to send it to me. He said, no, I got it right here. He had a whole bag of it right there. So for the next few months, along once again with changing my diet and stuff, I started taking regularly Juice Plus and started feeling, I don't know if it was mind over matter, if it was a mental thing, but almost immediately I started feeling better. All of a sudden, I was starting to get another 10 yards on my drive, and having viewed the video, Mr. Simpson makes a gesture as if he's swinging a golf club. And then before I knew it, I just started skipping the Napacin and skipping the Indocin and skipping the pain pills, the Advil. I mean, I was one of these guys who was on 6 or 7 Advils a day, you know, until today when I don't have to take anything. And my thought at the time was, I contacted Smokey, who is...
All right, Mr. Kelberg, the two issues are foundation for the tape and whether or not something in March of '94 is relevant to issues in June of '94. Those are the two concerns I have.
Well, I think, Your Honor, the question is, as a foundational fact, a 403 preliminary fact, as to whether it's relevant. That is there any tendency and reason for a rational fact finder, a juror, to say that if, in fact, Mr. Simpson is claiming he had an arthritic problem before, but he changed his diet and he's on this Juice Plus and he's feeling great, that is relevant to assess whether he was capable less than 2 months later of murdering these two people. I think, given that it is a foundational fact which is at the lowest level of the burden of introducing evidence, that it clearly is relevant. It does have a tendency and reason. We've heard Dr. Heisinger talk about Mr. Simpson coming in on the 15th, walking like Tarzan's grandfather, and we've got Mr. Simpson less than 2 months earlier saying he's feeling great. He's off the drugs. He's getting 10 yards more on his golf swing. It'll be for the jury to decide. It may well be that the jury decides Mr. Simpson was lying to those people at that convention, that in fact maybe he did have intermittent episodes of arthritis. But the fact he would lie is itself relevant. Lie with respect to his condition. When one is evaluating whether he played through pain and was willing to lie, if necessary, when it was to his advantage, or whether he would be fully candid, in which case, if he wasn't having a problem less than 2 months earlier. So under either circumstance, it's relevant. And I submit, given what I've indicated and given what the document itself will show, document in the generic sense, I think, of Evidence Code Section 250, 240, a writing, including a videotape, that it's self-authenticating. But Mr. Martin, I'm certain, given the summary of the interview that I've indicated to the court, would be able to say this is the speech that Mr. Simpson gave March 30, 31 of 1994.
Mr. Shapiro?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. With regard to the minimum or minimal maintenance video that Mr. Simpson participated in, it is our position that if it is played, it should be played in its entirety.
Are we talking about the commercial product?
No, that's what Mr. Kelberg has incorrectly referred to as an aerobic or exercise video, is more a geriatric type of maintenance that Mr. Simpson endorsed and does not perform very well in. If that is shown, it should be shown from the beginning to the end without any breaks, and all of the outtakes that were done should be shown to the jury so they can see all the rest periods, all the breaks that had to be taken, all the reshooting that had to be done, where you will see probably the most strenuous thing is a series of a minimal amount of push-ups with stress and done improperly. As far as videos of him playing basketball, we would like to see those. The only thing that we know is there is one picture of him taking one shot, making one basket. I don't know that they have videos of him playing basketball. If they have videos of him in a basketball game, they have not provided them to us in discovery. And the outtakes that they have, we do not have, and we'd like to see them before they're shown.
We have provided the defense last week. Mr. Lynch, I believe, made arrangements to have the copies made, or Mr. Fairwell, one of the two, of all of these videotapes to provide the defense. The product for sale is the one that has three.
When were they provided?
Late last week is my understanding. They were given to Mr. Armstrong. They were provided to Mr. Armstrong, who is our conduit. No, Mr. Armstrong is an investigator with our office, Mr. Shapiro. Apparently this was litigated. Again, I wasn't around for the opening statements, but Ms. Clark says this was litigated during the course of the opening statement. I have no way of knowing one way or the other.
Oh, I'm just curious. My only question is, when were the copies of both tapes that you want to play given to the defense, or all three tapes?
My understanding would be late last week, and that's because I got involved with this late last week.
And to whom were they given?
They would have to, that information would have to come from Mr. Armstrong, because Mr. Armstrong is our conduit to filter all information to the defense for discussion.
Mr. Douglas?
Mr. Douglas does inform me that we did receive 2 videotapes, and we'll have to review those. If those are, as Mr. Lynch represents, the entirety of 3 days of outtakes, they should be quite lengthy, and I don't know how they would fit on 2 videos.
This, first of all, that's not accurate by Mr. Shapiro. And just out of deference to the young men and women who are exercising in this video, I don't think anyone would describe them as being in the geriatric class. These are people in the 20s.
No, that's not helping me here. The issue is the offer of proof and whether or not you're going to play the whole thing in its entirety. That's all.
Your Honor, it has been represented to me to be the aerobic exercise segment, the taping of that, it appears to have been all on one day. You'll see the time in the videotape. It is approximately 1 hour long. There are like 3 takes of one set of exercises, I think 2 takes of another set of exercises. There is before that this 40-minute or so period where Mr. Simpson is going through the introduction, the promotional.
We're going to have the doctor sit through all this?
No, I am not suggesting that, Your Honor. Mr. Shapiro is the one, he says, let's play it all the way through. I believe that the only relevant portion to the doctor is the physical exercise that Mr. Simpson is engaging in, which is the period of about an hour that occurs after the 40 minutes. And that's why I have it racked up.
You have it queued up to that?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Any other comment, Mr. Shapiro?
Yes, the video that I reviewed, unless it's something different, is 70 minutes. And in order to get a proper perspective, it should be shown from beginning to end, because Mr. Simpson goes through numerous cycles, and he talks about how to exercise in the office, how to exercise on an airplane, how to exercise sitting down. And it will be very important for the jury to see what his exercise regimen is like. As far as the outtakes, they should be played definitely in their entirety, because, as the court is well aware, when commercial videos are made, they're made like movies, and they are cut in sequence. It's not just 70-minute shot, and they put it on tape for commercial distribution.
All right, thank you, counsel. All right, I'll accept the offer of proof from the prosecution that they can, in fact, lay a sufficient foundation for the authenticity of the tapes and the manner in which they were made. The prosecution is not required to play the tapes in their entirety for the purposes of cross-examination. However, under 356, the defense may, on redirect, play it from beginning to end, if they so choose.
Your Honor, just to save time, we will so choose. So rather than start it once and then have to play the whole thing, we would ask the court to have it shown in its entirety, and the jury can be told it's at the defense request.
Your Honor, what I would suggest is I will play the exercise portion first, and then we can play the introduction. But the exercise is clearly what is the relevant portion to the
I agree.
sentence.
All right, I've ruled. Let's have the jurors for another 30 minutes. Doctor, looks like we're going to see you again tomorrow. Six o'clock, so we will finish.
Your Honor, just for the record, the printouts from the Elmo, there are
Fine, let's-
several that needed to be identified. One is 518 double B of the
All right,
bracelet.
let's take that up after we've concluded with the jury.
All right.
And you wanted me to get the references to Mr. Merrill's testimony and Mr. Park's testimony?
Let's do that after let's try to squeeze what little we can out of the jury this afternoon. All right? Stand. Mr. Kelberg.
Thank you, Your Honor. Doctor, during the recess, did you count the number of abrasions that you identified on the left hand or wrist area of Mr. Simpson?
Yes, I did.
How many separate abrasions did you identify?
7.
And did you also count the number of cuts to his left hand?
Yes, I did.
How many did you identify?
3 cuts, one of which on the 4th finger had both an A and B portion.
And that's that ring finger, right?
Correct.
Now, doctor, you said that Mr. Simpson told you he got these injuries in Chicago. Is that correct?
No, that's incorrect.
That he cut it on glass?
That's correct.
Doctor, I want you to assume that there's been testimony received in this case that blood that was genetically tested and found to match Mr. Simpson's was found in the foyer and driveway areas of Mr. Simpson's home on Rockingham.
Rephrase the question.
That there has been testimony received that tests have been performed on what appear to be blood samples from the foyer and driveway area of Mr. Simpson's Rockingham estate, that in the opinion of expert witnesses, that the genetic characteristics of those drops are identical to the characteristics of Mr. Simpson, and therefore they form the opinion
Rephrase it.
that the experts have formed an opinion that the blood is consistent genetically with Mr. Simpson's. Okay?
Okay.
You have that understanding?
That's the hypothetical?
That's part of it.
Okay.
And further, that Mr. Simpson left Los Angeles to go to Chicago sometime after 11 o'clock in the evening of June 12th, and did not return to Los Angeles until sometime after officers from the Los Angeles Police Department observed such blood in the foyer and driveway area of Mr. Simpson's estate, and had it collected for purposes of the subsequent testing that I've asked you to assume was done and opinions formed as a result. And that also testimony has been received from Mr. Cato Kalin, that he had observed this before Mr. Simpson returned from Chicago to his Rockingham estate. Do you have all of that assumption?
Overruled.
Do you have all of those assumptions in mind?
Can you repeat just the last one with Cato Kalin?
That Mr. Kalin had observed this blood in this area of the estate before Mr. Simpson returned from Chicago. Do you have all
Okay.
that assumption?
Yes, I do.
Doctor, in your opinion, would the kind of cuts that you observed in Mr. Simpson's hand, left hand, be the kind of cuts that can leave blood drops?
Yes, they can.
And in fact, is the hand one of the most vascular, that is, full of little blood vessels areas of the human body?
Face, head, fingers, absolutely.
And doctor, assuming that Mr. Simpson, by saying that he injured his hand by breaking glass, was referring to an injury in Chicago on June 13th, do you have any information on how such blood, if it is in fact Mr. Simpson's, could have been left on the Rockingham foyer and driveway on June 12th?
My own,
Objection, Your Honor, we don't know when the blood got.
What's the nature of that? Objection? Sustained.
Doctor, is your findings with respect to those cuts such that those cuts could be the source for blood droppings left by Mr. Simpson in his foyer and driveway on June 12th, 1994, before he left for Chicago?
Objection, Your Honor. There should be so many facts. It is so speculative as to the size of the drops, the amount of drops.
Sustained. Foundation.
Doctor, how much blood, if you have an opinion, would you expect such cuts in this highly vascular area of the hand to produce?
Objection, compound.
Overruled.
Lack of foundation.
Overruled.
when you slash a finger, basically what happens is you've got this outer layer, the epithelium, which is maybe a millimeter, which is, you know, somewhere between a 32nd and a 16th of an inch. There's no blood vessels there. Then you go to the tissue right underneath. And of course in the fingers, you know, unlike the rest of our body, you don't have that much tissue between the outside and the bone. So basically the dermis is going to be compressed somewhat, but you've got different layers. You've got the superficial layer of the dermis where there's going to be smaller vessels, although they're anastomosing, and you've got the deeper vessels. And occasionally even you have connections between the artery system and the venous system, because that's why the hands, when you're very cold, can get cold, because the body says, I don't want to lose any heat through evaporation, and you'll shunt blood. So you can occasionally cut a vein that even bleeds a little bit like an artery, was what I was trying to say. So it's totally dependent on the depth of the cuts, and it's sometimes a haphazard sort of thing. You know, the veins wind through. I think it's quite variable, but certainly cuts of this nature
Like I was
could
Joe
bleed
number 7.
significantly. Again, in my personal experience working in emergency rooms, I never see people cut themselves and then just let it bleed. You know, I'll see somebody where they cut themselves and they come in with a dish rag around their finger. But again, with cuts that don't appear absolutely dissimilar, you know, you can stain a dishcloth or something of that nature, absolutely. So I would say many drops.
And in the healing process, is it accurate that there can be something called a temporary clot that initially takes place in an effort to stop the bleeding?
Of course, you know, once you cut the veins, or even if you happen upon an artery, the initial mechanism of clotting is that the platelets form a plug, and that plug then gets aided because the plug releases certain mediators, and then the fibrin comes in, which intercrosses and strengthens that plug. That is something that essentially happens relatively quickly. On the other hand, if it's on a joint or some other area, it may bleed longer with movement.
And that was my next question, that you can have a temporary clot, and then with movement of the hand, for example, such as Mr. Simpson's left hand, you can reopen what is that cut with the temporary clot, correct?
That is possible.
And you can have a rebleed, and then it'll temporarily clot again, and hopefully at some point the permanent mechanism of healing will have enough opportunity to take hold that you'll have no further bleeding. Is that correct?
I think that's accurate.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor? Now, Your Honor, I do have a video.
Your Honor, we just had a lengthy hypothetical, no question first. Move to strike all those questions after your disregard the invitation.
Overruled. Overruled.
Now, Your Honor, I do have a video. I'd ask that this be marked. I think we're at 520.
521.
521. It's entitled Playboy Entertainment Group, Inc., OJ Quad Split, Tape 1. And I have cued it, hopefully, to the area where I wish to start the tape. And I'll ask Mr. Fairwell if you could, please.
All right, and this is for the purpose of showing...
For the doctor, yes, I would ask Doctor, if you'll please watch this, and as an offer of proof, Doctor, I want you to assume this is Mr. Simpson engaging in activities that are being filmed for the purposes of a exercise video, that the filming is taking place around the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th of May 1994, sometime a little over 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks by the time we get to your examination of June 15th, but a little over 2.5 weeks before the date of the murders, June 12, 1994. So these are going to be repeated segments movements, that is, they reshot it multiple times, there will be a timer on it. I'll ask you to just follow as the videotape is played.
All right, Mr. Fairlawn, have you tested the audio level on this?
No, I have not. I'll start with that.
Sounds hot to me. Proceed.
And Your Honor, when it's first shown, if we could get the, stop it 1 second, that it had a time of 15, 17, I believe it was 01.
All right, thank you. Proceed.
We call easy pin. No. Okay, here we go, man. Easy impact. What? Okay, guys. All right, what we're going to start with is what we call easy impact. It's athletic, it's physical, and there's no dancing. What we've done is we've taken a lot of moves that you would use if you were competing in a sport and incorporated them in a cardiovascular workout for you ex-jocks, weekend athletes, and some of you couch potatoes out there. I know you guys can handle it. And here to help us with it is one of the best motivators I know, personal trainer Richard Walsh.
Thanks, OJ. All you guys have to do is be consistent with your workout and you're going to lose fat. It's that simple. We're also going to increase your energy, strengthen our joints, improve the shape of the muscles, get a nice flexibility going for us. We're going to do it all in 25 minutes, 3 days a week.
Okay, now this isn't a conventional aerobics workout. It's something that anybody should be able to do.
Right.
If there's any part of this that you can't do, just don't do it. And sometimes there's some alternate things you can do that'll help you out. But we'll show you as we go along.
Right.
Why don't we get started, Dan?
All set?
All right.
Let's get going. All right, let's get going with just a little bit of a warm-up here just to elevate heart rate, get a little blood to those muscles, and get loose. How you feeling?
Not bad, not bad. You know, when I first started playing ball, we didn't do much of loosening up.
That's right.
Now, we spend about 20 minutes before a workout getting loose.
Oh, boy, this feels good. Stretch it up and pull her down. Okay, let's open up. We're just going to touch on some calves here. When we do this, keep the legs straight but the knees soft. How the shoulders today, OJ?
All right, let's try it. Huh?
All right. Oh, this is a tight area, is it?
Yeah, this is just to kind of get that blood flowing, right?
That's it. Better take them both right here. You know what we do? When we come up, let's pull them and pinch them down and back just a little bit. All right, ready to sit on down? Let's go. Easy, easy.
I get used to this.
All right, get a good knee bend, you guys. How about a reach? How's this help your golf game?
This is great for my lower back, I can tell you that.
Let's do it again then. Ready, here we go. Nice and simple.
The whole thing about playing golf is getting a turn.
That's it.
How to turn that waist up.
Let's take the arm over the head. I mean, I can get down in the 70s just by doing that. You tell me. Okay, my favorite. Little ice skating movement right here. At least it kind of looks like an ice skating movement.
Not quite.
Now, ready to rip an arm with it? Let's go. Here.
Oh, we're getting closer to that ice skate.
Yeah. See, the more muscle groups we get involved, we get that heart really pumping. Let's say we take a step together.
Oh, yeah, we're getting there now.
Yeah, stay down nice and low, you guys. Ah, let both arms stretch out. Here we go.
Now I got the air tight.
That's it. That's it. Speaking of backs, OJ, just take a step out and get the back. Here we go. Round, and we'll press it. Oh, man.
Now, if you haven't worked out in weeks or years, you should be able to do this.
Yep, exactly right. Careful on that lower back. Let's go one more time like this. Now we'll hold it right here. We're just going to take one shoulder up in the air like this. Keep a lot of weight forward. Just let the spine lengthen out. Let's bring it back center. We're just going to open up inner thigh. You don't have to be real low here. Oh,
This
really
is
open
something
it
I
up.
would have a problem with because of my knees.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and turn the other way.
I do feel the good stretch inside there.
Yep. Good, let's bring it back center, and then we'll go to the other leg here. So open up the inner thigh. Keep a lot of weight forward. Again, you don't have to be low. All right, let's bring this up. We're going to do a little calf stretch. When you do a calf stretch, make sure this knee stays right over the ankle. Should feel a great stretch right through here. Something you always want to do before you get started exercise. Let's make a change. We'll go down to the OJ stance.
In my old track days here.
That's it. We're going to try to drop this hip a little bit and open up this hip flexor right here. Good, let's knee the floor.
Okay, now this is something that I would have a little trouble doing because of my bad knee. Now, does this work for this?
That works
Can I
real
go
good.
back and go the
I'm just
opposite way?
lengthening that hamstring right through there. And all we can do is stand right here, and that's just fine. Let's go to push-up position. Okay, ready? Let's go. Your whole idea behind doing a few push-ups in the warm-up is just put a little weight on the upper body. You don't have to be real low. Just keep the abdominals tight, the rear tight. Should I tell them?
Yeah.
You guys have a few push-ups ahead of you, so get ready for these. Good. That's it. That's it.
So this is mostly just to get your blood moving, right?
That's it. It's the whole idea behind a warm-up. Anytime exercise, you don't want to get started without warming up. Here, and now speaking of warming up, great one for the shoulders and back. You know another good one for shoulders?
What's that?
Little shoulder press. Up and down. Here, you don't have to reach up real high. Just elbows a little bit lower, the shoulders above the shoulder. Okay,
Presses without the weight.
let's go. Let's take a walk back so I really get these guys moving here. Front, we'll go shoulder press. That's it. Just kind of air it out a little bit. Back, here we go. All right, last time. Okay, let's turn over at you, OJ, and get the other calf stretch so we can get going on this movement here. Ah, that feels real good. Remember to keep this left heel or this heel on the floor. Stay it real tall with the spine. Okay, bring her down. OJ stance.
Ah, this is my favorite one. I never put my hands down.
Rock this hip. Just keep the spine nice and long as we do this. All right, let's bring it down. Get the
This one
hamstring.
I have to make an adjustment
That's
because
it.
of my knees.
Remember, when you're tight in the hamstring, you tend to be tight in the lower back. You don't need to go far here. Okay, let's push her forward, take a walk up. Let's go. That's
All right.
it. How we feel? Better?
I feel like dancing. I'm already loose.
I thought we weren't going to do no dancing. Okay, now we're going to get into this. We're going to pick up the intensity just a little bit. Remember, you guys, I know a lot of you at home, and you're sitting there saying, I'm a little funny about a lot of aerobic classes. They get a little dancey, a little bit wild. Stuff. It's going to look just like the sporting event movement, all right?
That's right, I'm ready.
Like OJ said, do what you can do. You're not competing against anybody, all right? So just stay loose and get her going.
All right. All right, now this is going to be easy impact. It's physical, it's athletic, and there's no dancing. Now we've taken a lot of moves that we'll use if you're competing in a sport, and we incorporated them into a cardiovascular workout. It's for you ex-jocks, you weekend athletes, and yes, even for you couch potatoes. And I know you can handle it. And here's a guy that's going to help us with this. One of the best motivators I know and personal trainer, Richard Walsh.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, it's great. It's so good. Guys, all you have to do is be consistent with your workout, and you're going to lose a lot of fat. Along with increasing your energy, you're going to strengthen your joints, you can improve the shape of your muscles, and we are going to strengthen the most important muscle in your body, and that's the heart. And you know what else? We're going to do this whole thing in 25 minutes, 3 days a week.
And it's easy to do. What we're doing here is something that everybody out there can do. And if there's a move because of some injury that you might have to some part of your body that you can't do, just sit out that one. Or maybe
That's
there's an alternate way to do it. Okay? You ready? I know you can handle it. Let's get started.
Let's get going, gang.
All righty.
All right, little warm-up, okay? Let's go. Okay, nice easy warm-up. All we're going to do is get the heart rate up a little bit, increase the flow of blood and oxygen to the muscles, get nice and loose and ready to go.
Now, when I first started playing sports, you go out and you work out on your own. You never really did any like training like this. You never did work out. Now, teams come out, they take about 20 minutes with a trainer and get loose.
Let's do a little bit of calves here.
Get that blood flowing, huh?
Yeah, trying to really loosen up those ankles. Let's take a shoulder with it. Here, here, that's it. How the shoulders feel, Dave?
That's good. I tell you what.
Let's go both shoulders. Ready? Let's go. I'll tell you, it's so important to warm up for any type of sporting event that you do. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I know with me, it's tough in the mornings.
All right. Here, here. It seems like a lot of men have a lot of problems with stiff or tight lower backs. So we're going to help that along a little bit. Here.
Well, for me, this is great for golf because I play so much golf that my back gets a little tight.
Okay, then let's sit a little bit lower and go after that lower back again. That's it.
Yeah, got a little long.
All right, let's just take it and let's get going. Okay. Okay. Let's try to every whole section on the one arm. And, so, I'll just get on this. Thank you. Is there makeup here?
Hit the click on us and let's get going.
Action.
Let's get going, you guys. Okay, we're gonna start off with a real nice, simple, easy warm-up, all right? All we're gonna do is elevate the heart rate, get a little blood and oxygen going. So take it nice and easy, and we'll just touch on some stuff, okay? Okay, all set? Let's start off with taking arms overhead. Here we go. Up, bring it down center, pull down hard. Let's do it again. Ah, stretch nice and high. Legs out wide, some calves. Let's go. Boy, I'll tell you, OJ, you get moving in any type of activity, you want those calves and ankles ready. You know that better
I
than
sure
anyone.
do, especially in the morning. I have bad knees.
Yeah.
I need it in the morning.
Yeah.
What we're doing here is just getting the blood flowing, right?
That's it. Let's go. Full shoulders. Yeah, roll this down and back just a little bit. It's like men are always holding that stress up in this area. Okay, sit her down. Ready? Let's go. I love this one right here for loosening that lower back.
I'm a golfer. I really like this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking of golf, this is kind of your swing. Nah, it's more kind of like my swing. Let's sit down a little bit deeper. Here we go. Remember, we're tight in the abdominals. We're lifting with the spine. We're sitting real still from baseline down. Let's go, arm overhead. You know, the whole idea here is just extend all the muscle groups of the upper body. Get them going. Yeah, we'll do it without the arms. Here we go. Here, here.
Those are good arms. I
Yeah,
like this.
up and down. What do you say we had one more arm? I know you like that. Here we go. I'll tell you, the more we can involve upper and lower body muscle groups, the more we create that demand for oxygen. All right.
Right.
It's like that little old ice skating stuff here.
I like this one.
about both arms?
All right, now we got the Eric Hyden working, right?
Just kind of reach it out. Now, speaking of back, what do you say we stop here and we'll just kind of round the back, we'll press on through. Round. Think all those men are so tight to the back.
Like I'm doing some kind of Watusi dance here.
Yeah, this is how I kind of dance. Good, let's hold it right here. Now, we're just going to take the shoulder up in the air. This is called a static stretch. Just putting and holding it. Let's bring it back center. We're just going to open up this inner thigh area. Remember, when we warm up, we want to warm up the entire joint in all planes and directions. Let's bring it back center. We're going to take the other shoulder up in the air.
I think you'd be amazed if you just did this every morning, how much better you'll feel.
All right, great. Let's go back center and open up the other inner thigh. You don't have to be low here. Just bring this knee forward and keep your spine parallel to the floor, even if you're way up here. Okay, let's roll this up. Now the calf. Now, we talked about those calves before. Before we get going on aerobic activity of any type, running, jogging, or walking, we want to be loose there. Let's bring her down to what I call the OJ stance right here. All we're doing on an OJ stance is dropping this hip a little bit. Open up that hip flexor. You don't have to be low again. Okay, let's bring a change. We're going to go to the hamstring right here. We're just going to take the toe up in the air.
I have any problem with that because of my knees.
Okay,
so
let's bring your arm up here. Bring your hand right up here.
Right up here?
Straighten this leg and pull her back.
Okay.
That's real good. That's all you have to do. Good, let's bring her down. We're going to go into push-up position. Tight abdominals, tight rear. Let's go. Now, the whole idea behind doing push-ups, warm-up, is just to put some weight on the joints.
So I'm not trying to build no muscle here. I'm just trying to get some blood flowing, huh?
You know what? I wasn't going to tell him, but I'm going to tell him. You guys have a lot of push-ups ahead of you. So you're good at these. Good, let's bring this up. All right, just a simple walk. Let's go. Start. Just put the hands behind the back. We just did those push-ups, stretch chest, all right? Here, back. A little bit of a lunge right here. Okay, let's see those arms, OJ. Ready? Here we go. Arms just don't get enough work on that. One more time like this. Okay, let's take a real simple walk in place. Here we go. Okay, shoulders, upper back, hands together. Let's go. Here. It's called an upright roll. Two more like this. Just put your hands together, elbows higher than shoulders. Speaking of shoulders, let's go here and down. Just a real simple shoulder press. Two more like this. One more time. Okay, now let's take upright every time. We'll go back. Here, here, here. Now shoulder press front. That's it. All we're doing is elevating the heart rate, getting up there a little bit more. Back. Here we go. One. That's it. That's it. Ready to go forward? Okay, let's take a turn over to OJ and we'll get that other calf stretched out. Heel all the way down. So OJ's got going. He's got the heel right behind the toe. Lengthen here. Make sure this heel, OJ, stays right on the floor. Yeah, right through there. Okay, let's bring it down to OJ stance.
Which means I gotta go the other way.
No, you can put your elbow on your knee, OJ, if you can. That's it. There's the stance I remember.
One I forgot.
Okay, knee to the floor and hamstring.
Now this one, I can do this.
Now the leg is straight, but the knee is soft. When we're tight back here, we tend to be tight in the lower back, so we really want to loosen this up. Okay, let's move it forward and take a walk. Let's go. All right, we're going to pick this up just a little bit now. Get moving. All right, so we get that heart rate up. We got the breathing adjusted. And let's get it on.
I'm feeling so good now. Now I want to dance.
Well, we're not going to do that.
Anytime. Anytime. I bet, go spontaneity in there.
At 15:54. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our recess for the day. We have a dentist appointment for one of our jurors today, so we're going to have to break at 4 today. Please remember all my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case, don't conduct any deliberations till the matter has been submitted to you. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you with regard to the case. We'll stand in recess until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Dr. Heisinger, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. All right, we're in recess.
That's it. That's it.
So this is mostly just to get your blood moving, right?
That's it. It's the whole idea behind the warm-up. Things like exercise, you don't want to get started without warming up. Here, and now speaking of warming up, great one for the shoulders and back. You know another good one for shoulders?
What's that?
A little shoulder press. Up, and down. Here, you don't even have to reach up real high. Just elbows a little bit lower, just shoulder above the shoulder. Okay,
Presses without the weight.
let's take a walk back so I really get these guys moving here. Front, we'll go shoulder press. That's it. Just kind of air it out a little bit. Back, here we go. All right, last time. Okay, let's turn over at you, OG, and get the other calf stretch so we can get going on this movement here. Ah, that feels real good. Remember to keep this left heel or this heel on the floor. Stay it real tall with the spine. Okay, bring her down to OJ stance.
Ah, this is my favorite one. I never put my hands down.
Drop this hip, just keep the spine nice and long as we do this. All right, let's bring it down. Get the hamstring.
I have to make an adjustment
That's
because
it.
of my knees.
Remember, when you're tight in the hamstring, you tend to be tight in the lower back. You don't need to go far here. Okay, let's push her forward, take a walk up. Let's go. That's
All right.
it. How we feel? Better?
I feel like dancing. I'm already loose.
I thought we weren't going to do no dancing. Okay, now we're going to get into this. We're going to pick up the intensity just a little bit. Remember, you guys, I know a lot of you at home, you're sitting there saying, I'm a little funny about a lot of aerobic classes. They get a little dancey, a little bit wild stuff. It's going to look just like the sporting event movement, all right?
That's right, I'm ready.
Like OJ said, do what you can do. You're not competing against anybody, all right? So just stay loose and get her going.
All right. All right, now this is going to be easy impact. It's physical, it's athletic, and there's no dancing. Now we've taken a lot of moves that we'll use if you're competing in a sport, and we incorporated them into a cardiovascular workout. It's for you ex-jocks, you weekend athletes, and yes, even for you couch potatoes. And I know you can handle it. And here's a guy that's going to help us with this. One of the best motivators I know and personal trainer, Richard Walsh.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, it's great. It's so good. Guys, all you have to do is be consistent with your workout. You're going to lose a lot of fat, along with increasing your energy. You're going to strengthen your joints. You're going to improve the shape of your muscles. And we are going to strengthen the most important muscle in your body, and that's the heart. And you know what else? We're going to do this whole thing in 25 minutes, 3 days a week.
And it's easy to do. What we're doing here is something that everybody out there can do. And if there's a move because of some injury that you might have to some part of your body that you can't do, just sit out that one. Or maybe there's an alternate way to do it. Okay? You ready? I know you can handle it. Let's get started.
Get going, gang.
All right.
All right, little warm-up, okay? Let's go. Okay, nice easy warm-up. All we're going to do is get the heart rate up a little bit, increase the flow of blood and oxygen to the muscles, get nice and loose and ready to go.
Now, when I first started playing sports, you go out and you work out on your own. You never really did any like training like this. You never did workout. Now, teams come out, they take about 20 minutes with a trainer and get loose.
Let's go to a little bit of calves here.
Get that blood flowing, huh?
Yeah, trying to really loosen up those ankles. Let's take a shoulder with it. Here, that's it. How the shoulders feel, Dave?
It's good. I tell you what.
Let's go both shoulders. Ready? Let's go. I'll tell you, it's so important to warm up for any type of sporting event that you do. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I know with me, it's tough in the mornings.
All right. Here. It seems like a lot of men have a lot of problems with stiff or tight lower backs. So we're going to help that along a little bit. Here.
Well, for me, this is great for golf because I play so much golf that my back gets a little tight.
Okay, then let's sit a little bit lower and go after that lower back again. That's it.
Yeah, got a little long.
All right, let's just take from let's get going. Okay. Okay. Let's turn every whole section on the long arm. And, so, just, you know, thank you. Is there makeup here?
Hit the click on it, so let's get going.
Action.
Let's get going, you guys. Okay, we're gonna start off with a real nice, simple, easy warm-up, all right? All we're gonna do is elevate the heart rate, get a little blood and oxygen going. So take it nice and easy, and we'll just touch on some stuff, okay? Okay, all set? Let's start off with taking arms overhead. Here we go. Up, bring it down center, pull down hard. Let's do it again. Stretch nice and high. Legs out wide, some calves. Let's go. Boy, I'll tell you, OJ, you get moving in any type of activity, you want those calves and ankles ready. You know that better
I
than
sure do, especially in the morning. I have bad knees.
Yeah.
I need it in the morning.
Yeah.
What we're doing here is just getting the blood flowing, right?
That's it. Let's go. Both shoulders. Yeah, roll this down and back just a little bit. It's like men are always holding that stress up in this area. Okay, sit her down. Ready? Let's go. I love this one right here for loosening that lower back.
I'm a golfer. I really like this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking of golf, this is kind of your swing. Nah, it's more looking like my swing. Let's sit down a little bit deeper. Here we go. Remember, we're tight in the abdominals. We're lifting with the spine. We're sitting real still from baseline down. Let's go, arm overhead. You know, the whole idea here is just extend all the muscle groups of the upper body, get them going. Yeah, we'll do it without the arms. Here we go. Here, here.
Those are good arms. I
Yeah,
like this.
up and down. What do you say we had one more arm? I know you like that. Here we go. I'll tell you, the more we can involve upper and lower body muscle groups, the more we create that demand for oxygen. All right.
Right.
It's like that little ice skating stuff here.
I like this one.
How about both arms?
All right, now we got the Eric Hyman working, right?
Just kind of reach it out. Now, speaking of back, what do you say we stop here and we'll just kind of round the back, we'll press on through. Round. Think all those men are so tight to the back.
Like I'm doing some kind of Watusi dance here.
Yeah, this is how I kind of dance. Good, let's hold it right here. Now, we're just going to take the shoulder up in the air. This is called a static stretch. Just putting and holding it. Let's bring it back center. We're just going to open up this inner thigh area. Remember, when we warm up, we want to warm up the entire joint in all planes and directions. Let's bring it back center. We're going to take the other shoulder up in the air.
I think you'd be amazed if you just did this every morning, how much better you'll feel.
I agree. Let's go back center and open up the other inner thigh. You don't have to be low here. Just bring this knee forward and keep your spine parallel to the floor. Even if you're way up here. Okay, let's roll this up. Now the calf. Now, we talked about those calves before. Before we get going on aerobic activity of any type, running, jogging, or walking, we want to be loose there. Let's bring it down to what I call the OJ stance right here. All we're doing on an OJ stance is dropping this hip a little bit. Open up that hip flexor. You don't have to be low again. Okay, let's bring a change. We're going to go to the hamstring right here. We're just going to take the toe up in the air.
I have any problem with that because of my knees.
Okay,
so
let's
does
bring
this
your
work?
arm up here. Bring your hand right up here.
Right up here?
Straighten this leg and pull her back.
Okay.
That's real good. That's all you have to do. Good, let's bring her down. We're going to go into push-up position. Tight abdominals, tight rear. Let's go. Now, the whole idea behind doing push-ups, warm-up, is just to put some weight on the joints.
So I'm not trying to build no muscle here. I'm just trying to get some blood flowing, huh?
You know what? I wasn't going to tell them, but I'm going to tell them. You guys have a lot of push-ups ahead of you. So you're good at these. Good, let's bring this up. All right, just a simple walk. Let's go. Start. Just put the hands behind the back. We just did those push-ups, stretch chest, all right? Here, back. A little bit of a lunge right here. Okay, let's see those arms, OJ. Ready? Here we go. Arms just don't get enough work on that. One more time like this. Okay, let's take a real simple walk in place. Here we go. Okay, shoulders, upper back, hands together. Let's go. Here, it's called an upright roll. Two more like this. Just put your hands together, elbows higher than shoulders. Speaking of shoulders, let's go here and down. Just a real simple shoulder press. Two more like this. One more time. Okay, now let's take upright every time. We'll go back. Here, 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 and a shoulder press front. That's it. All we're doing is elevating the heart rate, getting up there a little bit more. Back, here we go. One, that's it. That's it. Ready to go forward? Okay, let's take a turn over to OJ and we'll get that other calf stretched out. Heel all the way down. So OJ's got going. He's got the heel right behind the toe. Lengthen here. Make sure this heel, OJ, stays right on the floor. Yeah, right through there. Okay, let's bring it down to OJ stance.
Which means I gotta go the other way.
No, you can take you can put your elbow on your knee, OJ, if you can. That's it. There's the stance I remember.
One I forgot.
Okay, knee to the floor and hamstring.
Now this one, I can do this.
Now the leg is straight, but the knee is soft. When we're tight back here, we tend to be tight in the lower back, so we really want to loosen this up. Okay, let's move it forward and take a walk. Let's go. All right, we're going to pick this up just a little bit now and get moving. All right, so we get that heart rate up, we got the breathing adjusted, and let's get it on.
I'm feeling so good now I want to dance.
Well, we're not going to do that.
Anytime. Anytime. I bet, little spontaneity in there.
At 15:54. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our recess for the day. We have a dentist appointment for one of our jurors today, so we're going to have to break at 4 today. Please remember all my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case, don't conduct any deliberations till the matter has been submitted to you. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you with regard to the case. We'll stand in recess until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Dr. Heisinger, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. All right, we're in recess. All right, back on the record in the Simpson matter. Mr. Simpson is again present before the court with his counsel, Mr. Shapiro, Mr. Cochran, Mr. Bailey, people represented by Ms. Clark, Mr. Darden, and Mr. Kellberg also present. Is Mr. Gordon. Counsel, is there a matter you need to take up with me before we resume?
Very brief, Your Honor. Your Honor, with regard to witness list and some discovery issues, the witness list we've been getting has been at best fluid, changing ebbing as the tides go each hour, if not day. The ability to prepare for such is next to impossible. That was difficult enough when we had the civilian witnesses with that type of testimony, but as we are moving into this arena of scientific evidence with this fluid witness list where we have different personnel involved, coupled with the fact that we are receiving reports that on work that was done literally months and months ago, dated today, dated yesterday, and those reports contain numerous issues that are going to have to be litigated. One, it's not complying with discovery. Two, I don't think it's
Want to give me some specific examples?
just a moment. Specifically with regard to reports, speak of the recent reports we received from Dr. McDonald and Drs. Lee, both of which contain information that one with regard to preparation, without knowing when these witnesses are going to testify, when we have other DAs have to do it. Pardon me? Secondarily, there's all sorts of experimental type of information contained that is going to require litigation. Counsel should know that. Ms. Clark informs me we just received a report today from Dr. Rader, and in getting these reports, there's no specific time when these witnesses are going to come to testify. So the ebb and flowing witness list, coupled with this type of discovery at this date, is A, not fulfilling with the court's orders, and two, it's going to take a lot of court time, our time, and making it very difficult to be prepared and ready to go for the court.
All right, well, I see Mr. Douglas is not here, who is our discovery compliance person.
What we'd like specifically, at least, is a concrete witness list in compliance with the court's order, so we can prepare what is occurring. Not at 6 o'clock on Sunday, we may call some people, or sometime later today, a cryptic remark, but a specific concrete list. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Carrick?
Good morning, Your Honor. That sounded very similar to what we were always saying when they were putting on their case, didn't it?
Deja vu
all over again, Your Honor. The trial, I guess, they said, is a dynamic process that does, in fact, change. You ought to recall that last week, Mr. Douglas, over my objections, gave them 24 witnesses. He was so far out in front, it was amazing. We did cover 22 witnesses last week. Then we dealt with Mr. Kelberg, and we've been stymied yesterday because I want to move this trial. We're going to be, and I told Mr. Darden just before we came out, perhaps he didn't talk to Mr. Gorton. I told him who the witnesses will be today. They know who the witnesses are today. I'll be glad to tell them. I told them that we decided to move Maltz back because I don't want to spend the rest of this week on doctor's testimony. That doesn't mean anything, and we want to move on. And so I'll be glad to cooperate with them from that standpoint. I'm talking, Your Honor. So, at any rate, so that's the point. And I think with regard to the discovery, Mr. Douglas will be here just in momentarily.
All right, counsel, I'll meet with counsel at the noon hour, and we'll hammer out the schedule for the next several days.
Sure, we'll be glad to, Your Honor.
All right.
Can we place on the record, Your Honor, what is the witness list for today?
Oh, sure, I'll be glad to, Your Honor, as best I can. I think that after this witness, whenever he's finished finally, we expect to call Juanita Moore, counsel's aware of. We expect to call...
We can offer proof as Juanita Moore. We have no idea.
Your Honor, may I address this? Juanita Moore. I expect to call Mr. Mraz, Kelly Muldorfer, the LAPD officer, Mr. Walsh, the man who made this video, and why we're wasting all this time. I think he'll be able to clear that up for them. We expect to call, we're going to see at lunchtime, photographer Rokar. We'd also like to talk to Willie Ford, the other photographer who did the civil liability video. There may be one that I'm missing out on, Your Honor, but we always try to have more than enough witnesses for the day. So I think those are the witnesses that Mr. Darden and I talked about. In fact, Rokar and Ford, he said he's going to try to make available. Oh, and we'll be calling, probably right after Juanita Moore, Officer Don Thompson, the officer who handcuffed Mr. Simpson at like 12 o'clock on June 13th. He was here yesterday. So they know who the witnesses are, Your Honor. And
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the one other issue to be resolved before we invite the jury to come back is the comment that's in this tape. And the record should reflect that this morning I met with counsel, Mr. Shapiro and Mr. Kelberg, and viewed the laser disc outtake on 3 different occasions, and the court recollects having seen that outtake on 2 previous occasions. And I'll hear argument from counsel regarding the admissibility of that statement by Mr. Simpson.
Your Honor, perhaps should the court have that played just briefly so we can, it takes just about 2 minutes, I think.
Well, the reason we played it 4 times...
Well, just so that everybody understands what the statement is.
I'm the only one whose opinion counts here, Mr. Kelberg.
Well, that's for certain, Your Honor. The statement, then, for the record, involves the trainer beginning an exercise in which he's making punching motions with the left and right hand, and the trainer begins by saying, "You better watch out, O.J.," and or words to that effect. And Mr. Simpson...
Look out for this left.
For this left. The court wrote it down. I'm going to need my notes then to...
That was an exercise to try to save time and not viewing it again.
What he says is you got to get your space in if you're working out with the wife, if you know what I mean. You can always blame it on working out at the time he's making punches with the left and right arm. That's Mr. Simpson is making it. Your Honor, The court, of course, is well aware this video was made less than 3 weeks before the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson. This court has heard testimony of domestic violence involving Mr. Simpson and Nicole Brown Simpson and has admitted such evidence as it may relate to intent and to motive. Mr. Simpson's unscripted remark reflects his state of mind, his attitude towards his wife, his attitude towards striking his wife. You can always blame it on, in essence, this exercise, this workout. Now, everybody laughs in the video because this video was made before the murders. If this video had been shown the day after, or had been shot the day after the murders, and Mr. Simpson made the very same remark to that trainer that he makes in this video, I don't think there's one person who's exercising with Mr. Simpson or one person who would watch that video who would be laughing along with Mr. Simpson. It is so close in time to the murders, Your Honor. It is so directly related to striking his wife, which is exactly part of the evidence to show intent and motive relevant to premeditation and deliberation. If it is an offhanded remark that is not intended to reflect his true state of mind, the jury may so find. I don't think they'll find that, not given the proximity in time and the other evidence of domestic violence. So it has substantial probative value on Mr. Simpson's state of mind. And let's face it, Your Honor, his state of mind is a big issue in this case, both with respect to proving identity and with respect to proving premeditation and deliberation. And so on the basis of the threshold for admissibility, I submit to the court it has substantial probative value, and its unfairness or its possible prejudice is what? That the jury will think, what? That he beats his wife, or that he thinks beating a wife is something that's of no consequence. Well, isn't that exactly what this is all about? His intent, his motivation, his relationship with his wife, and whether it serves to prove that he is in fact the murderer and that these murders are first degree rather than second? So I submit that there is substantial probative value, and it is not substantially outweighed, as the code requires, by undue prejudice. I'll submit the matter, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Shapiro.
Good morning. Your Honor, fortunately, we had a chance to view the tape on 4 occasions this morning, starting at 8:30. And the court will recall that this was said with a smile on Mr. Simpson's face, that the people who heard the remark were chuckling at it, that it was clearly a remark made in jest. It was taken in jest. Mr. Kelberg has not had the benefit of being here through the entire trial, so therefore he has only honed in on the medical aspects of this case. He apparently does not realize that the only evidence that Mr. Simpson had any physical contact with Nicole Brown Simpson was 5.5 years ago in 1989. And to try to establish some type of linkage between that and 5.5 years later when doing what he describes as a punch, and if Mr. Kelberg would like me to demonstrate a punch, I'd be more than glad to show it to him. But this is just a little arm movement going up and down on each side, far from a punch. And clearly a remark made in jest, clearly something that is potentially very, very prejudicial and no real probative value. It doesn't prove anything whatsoever. Therefore, it should properly be excluded from consideration by this jury.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, the court, in evaluating this statement, must look at the statement in its context, both within the context of how the statement is made here during an outtake from an exercise videotape, plus the context of the facts and circumstances of the case. I have to weigh the probative value, which I find to be substantial, especially given the proximity. I think the proximity is what gives it the most probative value. And I find that outweighs any prejudicial impact, and the objection will be overruled. All right, let's have the jury, please. All right, doctor, would you resume the witness stand, please? Record to reflect that Dr. Robert Huizinga is on the witness stand undergoing cross-examination by Mr. Kelberg. Good morning again, doctor.
Good morning.
You're reminded, sir, you are still under oath. Mr. Kelberg, you were playing a videotape which you have stopped at a particular location at the end of the court session yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor, and my intention would be simply to ask Mr. Fairtlow to start the tape up and to continue watching the videotape.
All right, and before you do that, ladies and gentlemen, the parties have asked me to mention to you that in viewing this videotape, this is the raw footage that was later made into a finished product. There are starts and stops that may not be apparent to you in watching it, so you should also pay attention to the real-time counter, which is in the lower right-hand quadrant of the screen, so that you can note when there's a start and a stop.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Shapiro?
Yes, thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Fairwell.
Wait on ish for the click track. Let's get her going. We're gonna just start off with a real simple, easy little warm-up. Elevate that heart rate, get a little blood oxygen going in these muscles.
That's the whole point of this, son.
That's it.
Get the blood flowing.
That is exactly it. Just take a nice, simple walk. We're ready to take some arms overhead. All right, here we go. Up and down in front. Let's do it again. Inhale through the nose, big exhale as you pull down. Okay, we'll open legs. Let's go to some calves here. That's it. Before you start any physical activity, I think you really need to warm up these calves and ankles, as well as the shoulders, right? When we're doing the calf lifts, legs are straight, but knees are soft, okay? How about both shoulders? Ready, let's go.
Tell you, this calf is really great if you've been sitting on an airplane for 4 or 5 hours.
Yep. Good, let's bring it on down. Here we go, reach. Speaking of sitting on an airplane, boy, those backs will stiff and get tight and everything else, huh? Let's take a reach. That's it. Get the upper body involved a little bit. Let's go back that lower back. We'll sit a little deeper here. Keep the abdominals firm. We'll stay still from belt line down. Real good. Doesn't need to be big. Just take one arm overhead. You can really feel all the upper body muscles, huh?
I like all of this. I'm a golfer, and it's that lower back that's a big problem.
Yep. Okay, we're just going to go a little bit side to side. Start copying some of the athletic bent movements that we talked about. Let's take one arm with it. We're just going to kind of copy an ice skate movement.
Oh, ice skating.
Yeah, see those guys going down the ice, man? They got the legs, rear going on. Let's get a step with it. Kicking those feet up, getting her moving.
Well, in Buffalo, I was ice skating, but it was on the football field.
Yeah.
Now we got that Eric Heidens on.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
got people coming after you, too. Okay, let's hold it right here. Ready, let's go around the back and press through. I'll tell you, men tend to be so tight in the entire spine, the entire back.
Yeah, it's like a Watusi, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't do that much better than that. Okay, let's hold her right here. All we can do is take one shoulder up in the air. Just hold her nice and still. That's it. That's it. Good, let's bring it back center. We're just gonna open up this inner thigh right here. You don't need to be real low. Just open this area because we're gonna do a lot of side-to-side movement as well. Good, now just take the other shoulder up. And just hold it right there. Some of you have been sitting all day, and it's gonna feel terrific. Good, let's bring it back center. We'll open up the other inner thigh. Once again, exercise is fun. It doesn't need to be difficult. Just a little stretch in there. Good, let's bring it center, and we're gonna take it over to a calf stretch. Now, before you do any physical activity, like we talked about before, get those calves loose. We brought some blood oxygen there, now we're stretching it. Let's go down to my favorite OJ stance here. What we're actually doing is dropping the hip a little bit, opening the hip flexor. Try to keep the spine real long. See, look at it. Doesn't it remind you when you got out of the blocks there? Boom! Good, let's bring it down to a little hamstring stretch right here.
Now, this is something I would have a little problem with because
Right.
my knee hit the ground. I can't quite
All we
it,
gotta do
so-
is put both hands right here
Yeah.
and lengthen back there.
Okay, so this is what I'm working on.
That's it. Let's go down to push-up position. Okay, tight abdominals, tight rear. Let's go. Here and down. I like to throw push-ups in the warm-up just to get some weight on the shoulders and joints and arms.
So we're not really trying to build up with these push-ups. We're just trying to get the blood flowing.
Exactly. And you know what? Practice good, man. You have a lot ahead of you. Let's take it. All right. Let's put our hands behind. Just open up chest here. There we go. Easy lunge slide. All right. There we go. We're gonna take it up a little bit more now. Get that heart rate going a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
What we do? Let's add some arms here. There we go. Just squeeze that bicep. There we go. Okay. Ready to take a walk? Nice simple walk. Let's go. Okay. Shoulder time. Ready? Hands together. Real slow. Let's go up and down. Just keep the hands together. Elbows higher than the shoulders. Speaking of shoulders, why don't we get into regular shoulder press? We'll go right here. That's it. A couple more like this. All right, now, let's go every time. We'll take a walk back. Get her going now. Here, get that heart rate up there a little bit. Overhead. That's it. Good, hands together, elbows high. Great movement right here. Called upright row. Really good for the back and shoulders. Good. OJ, we're facing you, and we're gonna get that other calf, all right?
Okay, you got it.
That's it. See what OJ's doing? He's got the heel on the floor, stretching right through here. Doesn't need to lean, spine is nice and straight. Good, let's take her down to OJ stance.
But I remember the worst injury you can have is what they call an Achilles heel, and this stretches your
Absolutely
Achilles.
Exactly right. Nice long spines. Pull them out there, you guys, with this knee right over the ankle. Good, let's put the knee on the floor, and and hamstring stretch. I'm gonna do what OJ did last time, remember? If you can't get the knee on the floor, stay up nice and tall. Leg it through the back. Okay, let's bring it forward, and we'll roll all the way up, and let's take a walk. All right. Guys, we're gonna get it on a little bit now, all right? Heart rate's high, breathing's good. Ready to go? Yeah. Let's get moving here.
Feel like dancing. See what I mean? Get loose and I feel like going. You know, getting loose juice, as they call it. Woo!
All right. Very good. Very good.
No bullshit there, folks.
Good.
All right, let's get her going with just a real simple, easy warm-up here. Remember the idea behind the warm-up was merely just to elevate heart rate and get a little blood oxygen to the muscles. Nothing too difficult.
Not at all.
Okay, ready for arms? Let's go. Bring it down nice and tight. Inhale through the nose, bring it down hard. Good deal. Let's open up. We're gonna get a little calves going here. Remember, when we do the calves, our legs are straight, but our knees are soft. And I can't imagine ever starting any athletic event without warming up the calves and ankles.
Yeah, especially if you've been on a plane for 3 or 4 hours. Getting those calves loose.
How about both shoulders? Ready? Here we go. Another area where a lot of people hold a lot of tension and tightness. Okay. Pretend you're sitting down. Let's go. Let's go. That's it. Nothing gonna move from the belt line down. We're just gonna keep the abdominals firm and an easy rotation. Ready? Let's reach it. How's your golf game?
Oh, this is great. I tell you what. It's your lower back that bothers you when you play golf.
Well, then let's do another one right here. Remember, keep the abs in, you guys. The spine is lifted. We're real still here. It doesn't need to be big. Let's take one arm overhead. Here we go. The idea behind a warm is just merely get all the muscle groups involved. Loosen up the joints and get it going. Okay, here. Up and down. Remember we said we were going to do athletic? It was to me there are people chasing you.
No different.
Stay nice and low, you guys. Good, let's go both arms and really just let her go.
Oh,
Let's get
yeah.
Shoulders and back.
Yeah, now we got that Eric Heighton going, huh?
Good, let's hold it center. Here we go. Let's round the spine and press her through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be big.
Reminds me of the Watusi when I was a kid, huh?
I've been doing a little bit of that, yeah. Good deal, let's hold it right here. Okay, let's just take the shoulder up nice and easy. Nice hold with this back. Good, let's bring it to the center. We're just gonna open up this inner thigh here. All we need to do is just keep our weight forward. Try to have the spine about parallel to the floor, and you don't need to go real low. Let's bring it center. We're gonna take the other shoulder up in the air.
Oh, that's great.
Feel good on the lower back? Good, let's bring it back center. We're just gonna open up the other inner thigh.
Jeez.
And we're gonna move in all directions.
Yeah, I think if you just did this every day, you'll feel so much better. Just stretching.
Speaking of stretching, never, guys, start any activity without touching on those calves. We talked about it earlier when we got them warmed up. Now we're stretching it out. Keep this knee right over the ankle, okay? Let's take it down to OJ stance. We don't need to be low here. If you can't get the hand on the floor, this will be just fine. Just want to kind of get a nice long line here and let the hip drop. Good, let's drop the knee to the floor. We're going to take the toe up in the air and extend the hamstring. OJ's doing an alternate way of doing it. That's just taking the toe up and extending back here. We'll bend the right knee and just pull the rear back.
That's because I have a bad knee.
All right, push-up position.
Okay.
Tight abdominals, tight rear. Let's go. I know what you're thinking. Push-ups in a warm-up?
Yeah. It just seems to me that most people do push-ups. They think they're working out and building up mass, but we're just loosening up.
I just want to get some weight on those joints. Prepare you guys, because I got a surprise. Good, let's bring it up, take a walk. Okay, hands behind the back, let's just open up the chest. Let's stretch that out for tighten it up for push-ups. Ready? Let's go. A little bit of lunge, back, here, back. And we're moving in all directions. That's what you call training balance. Arms, let's see it.
Oh, yes.
That's it. See, now if I roll those sleeves up, you're going to see some arms.
Yeah.
Good. Let's take a walk. Here we go. See, want to go back to shoulders. Hands together. Let's go. Here, then down. Here's called an upright row. Hands stay together. Elbows higher than the shoulders. Okay, a little shoulder press right here. That's it. Yeah, let's do more than just press. Let's try to lift our entire upper body. Okay, uprights back for 4. That's it. Good. Shoulder press. We're gonna start picking it up just a little bit here to get the heart rate up there a little bit. That's it. Get shoulders, arms. Up. Here we go. Okay, OJ, we're looking at you and we're gonna stretch that other calf out. See what OJ's doing? He's got this heel right behind the toe. He's got the heel on the floor. He's stretching right through here. Don't want any pulls in there. Okay, ready to go down to OJ stance?
Well, you know, one of the biggest problems you have as an athlete that you worry about is an Achilles heel tear.
Yeah.
This is good for stretching the Achilles.
Yep. Nice long spines. Good, let's bring it down, hamstring stretch. We'll take the toe up in the air. My leg is straight, but the knee is soft. I'm gonna do it the way OJ did before in case anyone else wants to stay in that position. Hands on legs, rear pulling back. Okay, let's rock it forward, roll up, and we're starting to go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna pick it up a little bit now. We're gonna get her going. Man, you need this every day.
See, I tell you what, just this little warming up, I feel so much better. See, I feel like dancing.
I know this is going to shock you all, but this video that I'm watching with you on YouTube got 0 likes. 0 likes.
Robert.
Hold on, let me see how many views it had. 13. 13,000 views on this video and 0 likes. 0. No, I'm not liking it.
Spines are long and straight. Just for fun, Desiree, bend your left elbow only a little, bring your entire shoulders down a little bit. That's it. Mike, Robert, great. Robert, keep that left knee straight. Just bring the rear up a little bit. Guys, look down at the floor. Okay, head up and face down, spine alignment. Donna, great abs. Desiree, great. Ooh, I can't see it.
Look, I know we hit 2 hours, but I can't stop right in the middle of a workout video. I have to wait.
Is this going?
I could have been in it. You don't even know. I could be in that workout video.
Everyone settle. You ready, Richard? Guys? Yeah. Roll tape. You have speed. Action.
Let's get her going. Okay, now a couple times throughout this workout, I'm going to refer to something as a talk sing test. And all that simply means is if you can't talk or sing, like talk the way I am now or the way OJ sings, maybe you're working a little too hard. I suggest you bring the intensity down.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do. Wait, am I missing something?
Hey, your singing's good. Let's add an arm with it. Here we go. This work right up here is called the anterior deltoid work. I think it's one of the most underdeveloped parts of the body. How about both arms?
I don't
Ready?
not have a volume issue on my side. I don't hear any problem.
How about another 8? How's that feel right here? Got that going on? Tight right there? Good. Hands on hips, let's just step her back right here. Now, one of my favorite sports coming up. Let's go. Actually, it is a great sport. It's a great physical workout. Let's go uppercut. Ready? Here we go. Here. But if you think of it along the lines the way we're thinking it, we can use bicep, lats, shoulders back. And remember, our ultimate goal is to elevate heart rate and get rid of some body fat here and have a little fun doing it.
Right. Without hurting ourselves, huh?
Ready? Let's take a walk. Here we go. Okay, let's do that whole thing over from the top game, but let's add arms. Ready? Here we go. Arms only. That's it. That's it. Now make it a little tighter. You know it. If you feel good, get the intensity up there. Both arms. Don't mind me if I start growling a little bit. Ready? Let's go. Here. Now, OJ, I'm warning you. You come near me, man. This left hand.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you just got to get your space in if you're working out with the wife, if you know what I mean. You can always blame it on working out.
Let's take a little walk. Here we go. All right. Let's open up legs just a little bit. Shoulder level, hands on hips. Let's go. And hey, remember, guys, using large muscle groups like the ones we're using right here, not only are we shaping the muscles to strengthen joints, but we're elevating heart rate. And this is going to help us reduce the body fat right here. Arms up. Let's go. That's it. We're going to keep the arms straight, just like we did kind of, like before. Just pull her back real tight. Get a little feeling working right in through here. Lats and shoulders right in there. How you guys doing? Great. You know what? Every time. Let's pick it up. Ready? Here we go. Here. Let's turn our thumb up and bend our elbows a little bit this time. Should feel it right in here. It feels terrific. What do you say, another 8?
Okay, got it.
Right in the middle left back.
Well, it's
Right
like
and
skiing,
left.
huh? Yeah. A little over the mogul, huh?
Okay, ready? Let's take it over here. Let's go. Here and down.
Oh,
So, yeah, this
do I look
area
like
right
Arnold
here.
Schwarzenegger here, guys? Tell me
One
about
of
it.
the most underdeveloped parts of the body. Ready? Let's go. That's it. Get those legs going with it, you guys. That's it. Do your best to bring your spine parallel to the floor. Doesn't that feel great in the middle of the back? Okay, good. Just roll up. Let's take a walk.
All right.
Okay, now, what do you say to practicing a little basketball shuffle? Looks like this. Here we go. We'll step together. We'll step together. Do it again. You ever see basketball players that are way down here? Like that? Okay, let's do it every time. Ready? Here, 2, 3. Good. Just like that. Real simple. Hands up, man. I'm guarding you. My hands are up.
You got no chance guarding
Now,
me.
watch this pass right here. Ready? Boom. That's it. That's it. Good. If there's a... Let's go here and up.
Like this.
Here and up. This would be a basketball shot, or so to speak. Okay, now every time. Ready? Let's go. If you think about it the way we think about it, it's using all the large upper body muscle groups combined with these. If we have a shot, we have to have a rebound. That's it. Down, way up. Here, elbows outside, inside the rib cage. Every time. Let's go. Here, here. Come on,
Elijah.
way up on the toes.
Huh?
Whoa.
Elijah Wan, right?
Whoa. Let's walk it down. Nice work. Okay, get ready to the floor. Like I told you, tight abdominals, tight rear. Set. Let's go. Here and up. That's it.
I noticed the trainer is cheating. He's on his knees.
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm even on my feet. Okay, head is up, face is down. Abdominals are tight, rear is tight. I have no interest in seeing you do a lot of push-ups, but I do want to see you do them right. You don't have to do them all, you guys. So tight abdominals, tight rear. Heck, I'll do them on my knees. This is another way to do it. Good, I made that last one. Let's take a walk.
Oh, yeah.
Right back into it.
Cut. And action.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Picking up a little bit harder now.
All right, picking up the pace.
A few times throughout this workout, I'm referred to something called a talk-sing test. At that point, if you can't talk the way I'm talking now or sing the way he'll do later, I suggest you bring the intensity down a little bit. All right, let's go. Here. That's it. We're just going to start off real easy with a little heel back movement.
The very thought of you.
See, I knew it was going to
And I forget to do.
Man. Oh, both arms ready. Here we go. This is working what's called an anterior deltoid upper chest area. Just in case you want to know, I mean, I don't want to interrupt their song. Let's go another 8. All we're doing is straight arms parallel floor and squeeze. Right here, you guys. That's it.
Yeah.
Good. Let's step around back. One of my favorite movements. You know what?
Oh, we got it.
Ready. Let's get a little boxing movement going here.
Oh,
That's it. Aside from being a great sport, which I think we all like, it's a great workout. Let's go uppercut right here.
what, like Michael Moyer? Oh.
That's it. That's it. Feel tight. Feel the bicep. Feel the lats. Feel the shoulder. Let's do it again. And remember, don't believe me. I do grunt. Okay, nice easy walk down. Let's do all those movements that we did with arms. Right to the top. Let's go. Here. Here. That's it.
You've been out beginning to get it, huh?
Both arms ready. That's it. That's it. See, you guys thought this was going to be some dance stuff? That's it.
Yes.
Okay, ready. Here we go. Boom. Boom. That's it. That's it. Feel the lats. Feel the shoulders. Uppercut ready. Boy, look at those biceps. I don't mean on you either, OJ. I mean on mine. Let's walk it down. Here we go. Okay, open up legs. Let's get off this area. Right down here. Let's go. Down and go. Remember, in aerobic activity, we want to maintain a high heart rate. Right? And the way we're going to elevate our heart rate or maintain our heart rate is by use of large muscle groups. It doesn't always have to be upper body, but combining is nice. So with that an idea in mind, let's go. Here. Let's keep the arms straight now, similar to what we did before. But this time, let's try and feel right through here, right there, real tight. Right to the lats and back. Real good. So then start parallel to the floor and squeeze her down. One more. All right, now, upbeat pace. Let's go. Here. Let's go ahead and turn the thumb up and bend the elbow.
Feel like I'm skiing, going over those moguls, you know?
Look like you're skiing. Let's do it again.
Yes.
Hard now.
Whoosh.
That's it. Okay. Let's go right into the back. Ready? Here and down. That's it.
Whoa. Yes.
This to me is one of the most underdeveloped parts of the body, all right? Let's add some legs up with us right in through here. Right in that middle back. You're sitting in the office all day, the shoulders rounding. I know the story.
Got a little Arnold Schwarzenegger working there. Hey.
Good. Ready to roll it up? Let's take a walk. Okay. You guys want to practice a little basketball?
Yeah.
Let's start with our little defensive shuffle. Ready? Let's practice 2 this way. 1, 2. Simple, huh? But when you play defense, they're way down here. Ever notice that?
Well, it wouldn't be so simple if you were trying to guard me.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see? Let's go. Hands up. Let's stay a little bit lower. Here we go. Now, I'll push. Right there. See it again. Hard. That's it.
Can you pass it a basketball?
If we have this, we need a shot. Let's go down and shoot. Down. Use upper body. That's it. Use legs and rear. Every time. Here we go. Here. Good. Here.
Yeah, look at that follow through.
One place on the toes. If we have a shot, we need a rebound. Ready. Here. All the way up. Right down the side with the elbows this time. Dig him in the rib cage. Okay. Every time. Here we go. Remember those lats we talked about before? Right in there. Go up on the toes. Even harder. Yeah. Let's walk it on down. All right. Nice stuff. Surprise. Let's get to the floor, you guys.
Whoa.
Tight abdominals, tight rear.
I want to see you do men push-ups. No knees.
That's it.
Gotta put a little pressure on the trainer occasionally.
Actually, what I want to do is talk about head up and face down for spine alignment, tight abdominals, tight rear. I have no interest in seeing you do a lot of push-ups, but the ones we do, we're going to do right. So let's get the chest all the way on the floor. You can be on your knees the way I'm doing it, if you would like to. One more time. Good, let's walk it up. Continue on.
I noticed he talked his way out of doing those push-ups.
Oh. All right. All right. Way to go, you guys.
Okay, we're rolling.
Did I?
And action.
Okay, up and at 'em, you guys. Let's shake it out just a little bit to loosen up from all those push-ups. Great work.
Yeah.
All right, all set?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's open it up. Here we go. Reach. There we go. This rings a bell, doesn't it?
Just a little bit.
How about one arm? Here we go. Here. You guys have quieted down a little bit. Push-ups taken out here?
You know what? We said this is a low impact workout,
That's it.
but if you look at it, I'm beginning to sweat a little bit here, you know?
Hey, OJ, show me your biceps again. Here we go. Ready? Let's go. Real tight, you guys. Nice. Good. Let's take a walk. Ready? Here we go. Simple step back. Here we go. Here. Here. I love this next move we're going to do. Here we go. Right here. Now, this isn't a punch like we did in boxing. This is a lot lower and a little bit tighter. I want to stay with that chest and shoulder. Both arms. Here. See, you guys, I told you we're going to do a lot of movements involving a lot of muscle groups of upper body. One arm overhead. Here we go. Reach. Now, you remember we did this in warm-up? We used it kind of like a stretch and a whip. Now let's put the work into it. Both arms. Here we go. Now let's take one arm across the body. We're going back.
Oh,
One arm overhead. Here we go. Both arms. Again. Man.
boy, I don't do a whole lot of this. This is like new to me.
Again. Both arms ready. 2. Good. Let's walk it down. Nice work. All right. Okay, remember the talking test we talked about? Listen to your breathing. You can't talk the way I'm talking. Bring it down just a little bit. Right? Arms. Let's go. Here. Down. Now this works the middle section of the shoulder. Madonna's got some great middle deltoids right here. Right? All we need to do is take the arms up parallel to the floor. We don't need to go higher. That's it. You guys ready for a little fun here? Yeah. Let's hold right here. All right? That's it. That's it. Point fingers. That's it. Arms nice and long. Relax your neck. Here we go. That's it. That's it. Again, let's go. Here. 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 Okay, let's go. Here and back.
Okay, got it.
Here and back. Here. One more time like this. Okay, let's take the arms up right here. Squeeze and push up. Let's do a
See, this
bicep
is
on the
why
way
I don't
in
work out.
and push tricep on the way out.
It's exhausting just listening to one.
Try to have elbow to shoulder parallel to the floor. 2 more like this. More time like this. Good, let's take a walk down. Ready? Here we go.
This old heart of mine been broken 1,000 times. I'm still singing, you know?
I'm gonna put a stop to that. Here we go. Now this is one way of doing it. When we do a jump rope, great exercise. Land on the front of the foot, put the heel down, keep the knees soft. You don't have to do this, okay? You can also walk in place. Let's give it a turn. Now hands up, ready? Let's see that jab. Let's go. Put your elbow right in your rib cage. That's it. Feel the lats, feel the shoulder. Good. Let's take this hand over the top. Boom.
Oh, yes.
Boom, keep this left hand up.
Call the right hand lead.
Okay, combine the two. Start with this hand. Here we go. Here, 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 here. Oh, I need it harder. Let's go. Very nice. Let's walk it down. Nice work. Now, remember you can walk down like this. I'll take the liberty of walking down. I need a little air back. That's it. And I feel better, so what do? Right back up. And let's give it a turn. Ready? Hands up. Let's go. Right here. Right here. Right here. You guys, this is not going to cut it. Come on, strengthen those heart. Let's get going. This hand, ready. Let's go. Boom. That's it. Keep that high right under the chin.
Nothing. Hey.
Find him, OJ.
All right.
Again, OJ.
Hey.
Good. Take a break. Nice work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Let's take a walk. Okay, another idea.
You can walk right now.
We're going to do some more push-ups, but this time we're going to do them like this, all right?
Right.
To the floor. Let's go. Tight abdominals, tight rear. Ready. Let's go. Here.
But who's on their knees?
Yep.
Who went to their knees?
Let's see. Let's see.
This is fun.
This is great on triceps, huh?
Well, now I don't think I'm just running blood to the area. I think I'm actually working out.
I need one more time like this. Good, let's get back up. Right, here we go. All right, nice. All right, keep it going.
I love it. Think how good I'm going to feel tomorrow, huh?
I need to come back here. Oh. Okay, you got off counting. Yeah, we're good about that.
It works.
We have speed. Action.
Please. Please stop the tape. Please.
Okay, let's go back at it.
Unbelievable. No.
This is like a...
No. Listen, no. We're going to have to go through this again tomorrow. Because I've reached a limit with the pounding. It's fine, though. It's okay, guys. It can't go on for more than another hour and 15 minutes. No, I see him talking. I think we're only, oh man, I think we have like 5 or more minutes to go tomorrow. So we'll listen to that for the first 5 minutes to get pumped up for tomorrow's show. Thanks for coming out, guys. I really, really, really appreciate it. I will see you again very soon. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, guys.